We did it. We're here. We're live on the internet. Hello. Welcome back, my friends. Happy New Year.
Hey!
Yeah,
Why did you take a
that's
pause
right.
in between the first word and the second word?
I don't know. I was thinking of a couple of different alternatives, but I just defaulted to the standard. My creativity got a little bit out in front of me there.
2023.
It is. It's 2023,
Yeah.
but we're back in space, baby. How was everybody's New Year? You guys have good ones?
I was sick. I was at home a lot.
Oh.
It was great. I watched the Green Knight and Dune, Rich. So, who had the best New Year's Eve?
I mean, it was Taylor and I because we sat around listening
Yes.
to people play D&D.
Yeah,
I played
I
an
think I was up
8.5
until-
hour long D&D
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think we went to bed at like
listened to Troy play
6 a.m. Troy, is that right?
it was not great, Bob. That may have something to do with why I didn't
I saw a
sleep
fellow
well.
Brit
Yeah.
who posted at 7 a.m.
Oh,
our time.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
saw
that's
that as well. We see you, fellow
He's been
Brit.
stewing late at night for sure.
Yeah, not to name names.
no.
Not to
He's
name
been
names.
stewing like in the afternoon. Is what actually has been happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but 8.5 hour D&D session
That's a
wherein
third of a day.
it was a
Awesome.
third of a day. It lasted over 2 years. It started in 1 year, ended in the other.
Wow. See you next year. Yeah.
And I will say, because this is like, never to be shared again, never to be seen again, I'm just gonna take a moment. We had a disintegrate that literally the hit points rolled was exactly the number of hit points of the character. And the DM was in the process of describing the character turning to dust when we started pulling crap out of our abilities.
Oh my god, I almost got snapped.
It was
very
almost
good.
real bad. It was
That
almost
was really
real
good.
Yeah, the counterspeller was 65 feet away, and so there was a lot of bargaining going on, and it was Austin made them earn it. It was very good.
Sounds
good.
like. Appreciate your compassionate dungeon masters out there.
Yeah,
You guys,
for real.
they're in your corner.
They're people too.
Treat them
Yeah.
kindly. Yeah, the disintegrate's a really tough one because in the moment when you realize it's happening, you just are like, oh fuck. There is no come and revivify who, dust in the wind, baby. They just evaporate and you're out of luck. It's like legit
Yeah.
death. The disintegrate death is a legit death. So
Is
wait,
there-
I will never
are there
forget
many-
that.
Well,
When,
I mean, yeah. Mike, if you haven't not DM'd, right?
Hell no, absolutely not.
I don't know if there's anything. I don't think I've ever felt more terrified than the moment. And it actually happened to you, Tim, where I
it sure did.
misjudged. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
really
yeah, I
read my
remember that.
character, and forgot. I didn't realize that there was fire damage on top, and I roll the damage.
The
and
hell,
I'm like,
Harold?
that's
Taylor?
an insta
Yeah.
kill. And I don't know if there's a more
Insta-kill.
scary feeling than when you roll
Oh.
too much damage, or you crit on the player has 8 HP. You're like, uh oh, oh no.
Adios.
Yeah, how do you
Yeah.
feel to have a character's blood on your hands,
Sometimes it
Not the
feels
end of
really
the-
bad. Taylor
not the end
seen
of the
me
story,
had to stop the game because I started crying. I accidentally killed my friend. I'm just.
I was gonna say, I
you
will
know?
never forget the disintegrate while we're in Ravenloft. And yeah, our wizard gets
Oh.
disintegrated with all of the really ancient elven texts on his person that are magic and
Yeah, you guys had a
Oh,
relic
that's
book,
handy.
and we're like, you carry
Oh.
this. Oh no!
Yeah, give it to the wizard, I guess.
I gotta say, Austin handled it perfectly because we all knew what we were in for, right? It didn't come out of left field. People made choices. There were consequences. It just was that moment where he gets a fistful of dice. He rolls it. He starts totaling it up. And he's like, oh, wow. Okay. And he's totaling it up. And he's like, 45. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's a big hit. And he goes, plus 40.
Plus
I was
40,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Oh, baby, here we go. Woo. Holy
So,
schmoly.
Yeah, disintegrate's no joke. You start getting into the 6th level spells, stuff gets very real very quickly. That's big damage, man.
Yep. So
Yeah,
anyway, that was
shut
my
your
New Year's,
dirty
and
mouth.
I was delighted by it.
I will also say on the other side of that coin, I got to try out Circle of Power and negate all damage from a tidal wave, and it felt really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
Stay in
when
the circle, baby.
Austin's describing half damage, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, Austin.
So sorry,
they take
Austin."
no damage." It was great. I was like telling my brother this morning all about Tala's moment of like jumping off a balcony and like water whipping the scholar to like fall down with her. And I was like, that was like the coolest thing I have ever done. Like not even just my character,
Great.
like the coolest thing in my entire life.
How did your brother react to this?
So good.
There was like a lot of, I had to like, there was a lot of prefacing that had to happen. So I got a lot of like, oh, that's cool. Like, good for you.
He jumped off a balcony and water whipped his hair, and
Well, I was also a lot of like, this is the person who like my character's friend had years stolen, and that's why this bad.
That's too relatable. Of a
Listen, you would.
conversation.
I was listening to a part that was talking about like stories and stuff, and I think maybe it was a D&D part that was like the memories that you have of like playing D&D are in the same spot of your brain as any other memories. So like, they're real memories. It's real. Yeah, that's the coolest thing that
that's
happened.
me. I say that all the time.
Just because it happened in your mind doesn't mean it's not real.
Yeah.
I had to have the conversation a couple times because my boyfriend would walk into the apartment and I'm watching a D&D adventure. I'm like, my best friend just died. And he's like, what? What do you mean? Who died? And I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. The D&D. And he was like, oh my God.
Yeah, context is king, really.
Should there be like a term you use for the D&D version of like your best friend, your partner, etc.?
I mean, is it like your D-bestie or something? Is there like a term for your character?
Your dungeon bestie? That might be something different.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky. I definitely get that one when people ask, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a professional dungeon master, and like the side eye is strong, you know, like a lot of people don't have that context. The whole like talking about D&D in the wrong venue can really create a lot of trouble. Like I feel like I've recounted this story on this stream before, but possibly not. So the quick divergence is like we used to play a lot of Vampire the Masquerade, which is set in the real world, contemporary, right? And so we were talking about Vancouver.
How most people say Vancouver.
Yeah,
Vancouver.
That's how I imagine Kevin Costner says it in Yellowstone.
Fred Schneider.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah. What is it? What we do in the shadows? Vancouver.
The most devious man in New York City.
But I was in New York City itself talking about Vampire with my friends in their backyard, and their landlord overheard us through the window talking about going to rob a nightclub and like the summary armaments that we were gathering, like loading the vehicle with machine guns and like detonator C4s pre-September 11th, and we're in like right outside New York in the burbs. But legit, that was the landlord's wife who freaked out and called her husband at work, and he like came home from work pounding on the door like, what is going on down here? And I'm like, first of all, dude, you are a madman, because if you believed even like a modicum of this story, what are you doing knocking on the door of these would-be...
Excuse me, people with machine guns, open the door.
But
are you guys gonna do a murder? Come on.
She was very, very
You're gonna do a murder, you have to tell me.
It's the law.
Just listening to like the context of all of that, though, of my friend outside the apartment explaining to his landlord that we play a make-believe game. A bunch of young 20-something-year-old dudes are playing make-believe in the basement where we're gonna go rob a club. And he, like, I don't know if it made it better, worse, what, but it certainly was a situation, to say the least.
Oh no!
At that point, you probably wish you went to jail just to get out of the situation.
It was very
I can't believe you got away with robbing a real nightclub by just pretending you were playing Vampire.
Right? Yeah. It's a great out.
Also, who has food stories? Because we can't start season 3 off without talking about food.
Oh.
You know what I had it tonight. I had it over the holidays. I actually had it on Christmas Eve. Never had it before, and it was delicious. And this came from a pre-made like pack, but I had shrimp toast, and it was so good that I had to go get more shrimp toast. And for dinner tonight, I had like shrimp toast from a pre-packaged
I'm sorry, you keep saying a word, and I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, what is that?
You know what? I don't really know. And I feel like people have said shrimp toast before, and it's like I don't think that's a real thing.
Yes. It's
I
like
can get one.
Leftovers. Eastern like Chinese.
What does it
appetizer.
look like? What's the? Oh, okay.
It looks almost like a tater tot, except they're kind of triangular shaped. They're a little bit more like a four-sided.
like a tater
Okay,
tot.
why when I Google shrimp toast is one of the first things Daddy's shrimp toast?
Oh,
Well,
God.
that's
Melissa,
my- that's the
that's
URL I
that's
bought.
your algorithm,
For my
Melissa.
shrimp
I'm
toast.
sorry to tell you.
Yeah, you're telling on yourself.
It's shrimp toast. It says sesame and there's shrimp, like a full
Or
shrimp
your
on
dungeon
there,
bestie.
and then it's
Oh.
like fried, and it's delicious.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
No,
I mean,
no, okay.
a lot
Shrimp
of
toast.
Asian appetizers are fantastic because usually it's just like fried stuffed something, and you very rarely can go wrong with that.
I feel like
I'm
I've
a big
often heard
fan of
shrimp
shrimp
toast,
toast.
as like almost like an insult, like oh that's shrimp toast, but I don't know if that's.
Yeah, shrimp gets kicked around a lot. I don't know. It was a standard staple of the poo-poo platter when I was a kid. So that's my only interactions with shrimp toast. People love when you bring props, Grace. Also, big win. Brenna's.
I'm gonna eat
Yep.
the shrimp toast as well.
Yeah.
Also, Rich, you made some delicious pumpkin bread that I devoured.
It was
Oh.
not bad pumpkin bread. It may eventually make it to Vancouver. Good luck.
No,
Speed
not even.
I got
out
some
What
there.
was that again?
I got some today.
Vancouver.
It's so good.
Yeah.
There we go.
I mailed out cookies and pumpkin
Yeah.
bread and a bunch of like foodstuffs, on December 23rd, as you do. And then there was a horrific snowstorm. And so now it's many weeks later, and that food is somewhere out there on a truck or a plane
They're
or
probably
something.
frozen, so it's probably okay.
Somewhere
Rich was telling the story of
around
the
there.
poor postal worker who had to fill out a food-based duty form or whatever.
She was
I was
very
wondering
upset that I
about
was
that.
sending food to Canada, Grace. The
I was
postal
very
worker was
worried-
very
yeah.
upset.
I actually didn't know
wow.
you could do it. So when I got food in the mail today, it was very exciting. Yeah.
I had to fill out a
Yeah, 'cause
customs
they're
form,
pretty
and she
picky
was
about
like,
it, right?
"We don't have a lot of time." And I was like, "What do you mean? It's 4:15. Do you close at 4:30? No, at 5." I was like, "Well, don't worry. 45 minutes. I write pretty quickly. I think I could fill this form out, you know?"
That's really what you want over the holidays: sassing customer service employees. Truly, you were made this woman's day.
I really tried to be very polite. I even offered to leave. I did it in a very passive aggressive way. Like, I'm not actually going to leave, but I
feel
will
like-
like just offer it to get the moral high ground of this situation right now, you know?
I just really, if I were editing the trailer of the show, it would be Rich going, I really tried to be polite. I even offered to leave.
It's the kindest
One of our
thing I could
characters
do.
in a conference, when we were in a conference at some point in Dragonfly, he's like, "Listen, I'll leave."
I'll just
Oh,
leave
yeah.
right now.
The kindest thing one can do is offer to leave at any moment.
Honestly.
That's why you have to take teleportation circle.
Yes.
I am
Really?
thinking, I have about 10 tabs open right now to decide on my other 5th level spell.
No,
And
I'll
I
just roll
think-
the generator again. Creation. Take creation.
Yeah, randomize it.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Oh, I
think I'm
didn't
that
check.
chaotic?
well,
Sorry, I didn't.
yeah,
sorry, I didn't check the
Reggie
box
is-
for
have you,
wizard.
have you
Ono.
met the professor?
The professor.
No, I haven't. That's what we're
Wall
doing
of
tonight.
I
Stone.
know, we're about to, right? You could take creation tray, you just can't create dynamite. That's all I'm saying.
Big
right?
B's hands. That's what it says.
I want you know I
Yeah.
have quite the list of things that I wanted that Lux wants to do.
We're gonna be talking about Big B's hands soon, Mike. Vox
I
Machina.
know, and coming up in 17 days, I have to rewatch season 1.
Is every show premiering in January? What's going
Yeah.
on?
January and
That's what I've been
February
doing.
and March. Yeah.
Is this
I've
like the
been
movies you
binging
s- Yeah.
the C1 episodes for season 2 the last few weeks.
This is like movies used to be like this is like the worst time for movies. So TV was like, we'll take it. We'll take January. February. We got it.
No,
I think
Q1 is not
sports
letting up.
tries to do that too. Well, I have to ask this though because this is the perfect group, and I'm gonna forget if I don't ask. Kaleidoscope worth watching? Anyone done
Yeah,
it
it's
yet?
fun. It's fun.
I still have to watch it, but yes, I'm going to watch
Yeah,
it.
that's
It's
what
pretty fun.
that's exactly what I asked. Was basically, was it just all style, no substance, or was there actual stuff behind it? And it seems like there's like
Okay.
good characters and plots
Here's
and
the
stuff
thing.
like that.
You should find somebody who gives you a watch order though. Don't
I
just watch it
have a
randomly.
watch order from.
Don't watch it randomly.
No,
'cause it
TikTok
feels like
has-
you're
has
watching-
hooked me up.
It feels like you're watching a show out of order. So it's like this.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. My take is that the like you can watch it in any order was kind of a thing they did last minute because I feel like I get how it would feel like if you're gonna binge it that it would be very annoying in every episode for him to be like, "Hi Lou, hi Jake, how you doing, Lou?" You know, because like you need, but like I do feel like I watched an episode. I was like, I don't know anybody's name, like literally nobody's name. So find a watch order that someone recommends and watch
Yeah,
it.
there's
and then,
there's a Vulture article that has like 3 or 4, right? I think Netflix actually tweeted out one that's like, oh, if you want an
I'm
Orange is the New
committed.
Black gang.
I got a source on this one. I just wanted a validation from someone else that was
I
actually worth
did
the
the
time.
like
I-
Netflix
yeah.
Bandersnatch thing a couple of years ago, right? That was like the multiple endings, choose your
So
own adventure, Black Mirror deal.
that's why I was a little hesitant, because I'll be honest, like it was fine, but it was very much style over substance. Where like
Yeah.
if you actually look at it proper, it could have been a lot better, even though it did give us the weirdest Will Poulter character ever, and that's
Yeah.
It's
saying
a pretty
something.
weird one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've watched 3 episodes so far, and I thought it was like very enjoyable. Like it's like heist, it's like heist stuff. It's very
How
fun.
long are the episodes?
Between 40 and 50 minutes ish.
That's longish.
Cool.
I'm gonna
It's
check
it's
that
like
on my
an
radar.
hour long drama, right? Where it's like can be anywhere between like 44 to like the full hour.
On
Fun.
my radar for sure.
Cool.
Well, TV and food and holidays. Oh
Mhm.
my.
my.
We're here to play Dungeons and Dragons. What do you guys say? Should we play the Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Yes.
Roll it.
Troy,
down.
get
No,
outta
okay,
here.
Okay.
Roll
okay.
it down.
I
Don't
am-
kick them out.
You know what? I'm willing to leave. Would you like me to leave?
Oh, no, don't leave.
No, no.
Don't leave. You're being very polite. You're being very
No,
polite.
just go make a cheese platter.
I mean, if I get creation as my 5th level spell, I can make an infinite
Just
number
cheese-
of
cheese
cheese
infinite
pies.
cheese.
Oh my God. You can use creation to make
Is
a
food
ton
created
of
from
cheese.
creation nourishing? That's
Hey,
what I
Nate.
need to know.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Thank you, Nate, for the sub. 23
So much
months.
sugar.
Nice. First sub of 2023.
Yeah. I think technically my 2-year anniversary, I guess, just about like next week-ish,
Whoa.
something like that.
What's the 2-year anniversary
Seven
again?
Carrying the lead.
Or no,
Pa-
the
paper? No, what is it?
Oh, it's
Paper's
cotton.
one. Cotton.
Hot
Cotton.
All
Why
right,
do
we're
you
gonna
say
get.
it
Let's
like
go and get
that?
Rich a shirt.
cotton.
Touch.
What?
Cotton.
Cotton.
You know what?
Our lives.
Here's what I'll say.
What is happening?
American currency is primarily made from cotton. And so to celebrate his 2nd anniversary, give Rich a sub, give Rich the money. And
Yeah.
that will be your gift to him.
Drop that
Wait.
cotton in the chat, fam.
Drop
Is
that
that
cotton.
is that a real fact?
It is.
And is digital money also made out of cotton?
well, you know.
Well, there is Cotton Coin, the newest cryptocurrency I just made.
Cotton coin?
Yes,
Yeah.
I said, get that cotton, baby. That's what
yeah.
you say every time you make the trade. I don't know how
I was
crypto
gonna
works.
say,
I don't
get it
know
on
what
the black.
Does anybody know what crypto is?
Every time I make that transaction, baby.
Yep, get that cotton, baby. Make that transaction.
Every time I do a
US
little
paper
click.
currency is 75% cotton and 25% linen. So
Linen, really?
drop that cotton, baby.
I don't think our money
Scrapers.
is, Melissa.
Yeah, well, our money is plastic.
Yeah, you have that whole like
Uh,
translucent window in it.
polymer.
It's probably very durable, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's the whole point.
surprisingly not environmental.
But yeah, so January 12th, 2021 was when we did our first stream.
January 12th. Oh boy, I'll write that down.
Cool.
Don't worry, I got it.
Ooh,
Thanks.
Thursday.
There we go, Taylor.
You got to plan something for next Thursday.
And I can't because I have clients. So
Hey,
Well, we'll be here though
we get
on the
the
10th.
cotton.
gotta chase the cotton. Nonetheless, I'm very delighted to have you all here. It's gonna be a fun season of Dragonfly, I suspect. We're back, baby, in space for the Dungeons and Dragons. Is there any bookkeeping stuff that we want to do before we get to it?
What do you mean by bookkeeping?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because the answer is very much yes.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
all sort
so-
of in character bookkeeping, I think.
Then we're gonna get to the in-character bookkeeping, as it were. We might as well just get the show on the road then, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So, I think that as the camera opens on the inky void of space, stars twinkling in the background, the multicolored hues of the starry lit sky, the dragonfly whirs into frame, and we kind of follow it, the camera tracking it, as I think we see at the bottom of the screen 3 months ago, as the group of you, having gone through all the encounters, altercations, and mischief of season 2, finally ended up en route away from the Myriad asteroid when you came upon the old ship unmoored in time, within which you found your newest companion on this journey through the stars, A.D.A.M, A.D.A.M, the warforged auto-gnome unit constructed by Dr. Lewy Novick, known as A.D.A.M, played by one Mike Bloom on the ship. And so I think it is some weeks after you having met A.D.A.M, taken him onto the ship, you had received word from the patron who gave you your very spacefaring vessel, Yavanna, the woman who gave you this ship some months ago, back on your homeworld of Homeworld, where you were all headed back to. And so I think as we see the kind of Dragonfly pitching down, the camera moving up behind it, we can see the hemispherical hub of Homeworld in the distance, the kind of ship moving closer to it, color beginning to kind of gain as it increases in size on our screen. And I think we realize as we're closing in closer and closer that the green hemisphere of world that we see, when you all departed, you were all traveling to space. Some of you for the first time ever, in your own ship, meeting new people. The Dragonfly has many accommodations, rear view mirrors not amongst them. So amongst the many sights that all of you recall from your first voyage off of Homeworld, you don't necessarily remember a clear vision of looking back at the planet. And as you're closing in on it now, all of you getting your first best look, some of you your first, A.D.A.M, as you peer out the cockpit at this small planet growing in size closer and closer. And I think the first of perhaps many revelations to come to you on your return to this place where your journey began is that it is not a globe, it is not a round world. As you approach closer and closer and closer, you realize that there is no southern hemisphere to this northern hemisphere. And in fact, it is not entirely spherical, but oblong and stretched. And I think likely Reya Dewbrook, eyes inky black, as you have bonded with the shadow orb, you were the first to realize what you're looking at.
Oh my God, it's a flat Earth.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
In fact,
I've got theories about that.
I think you see, Reya.
What a way to kick off.
Is it a flat Earth? It can't possibly be a flat Earth. We're not doing that, are we?
Contrails behind the ship. The chemtrails.
Wait, let him finish.
Rich, I can just leave.
Spaceship fuels
No,
can't
don't
melt
leave.
steel
Too
beams.
nice. Too nice. Too nice.
Ray, I think you realize that
Yeah.
it's not quite flat. It is, in fact, rounded and oval shaped. And are those legs, a tail, a head? As you recognize, the entirety of Homeworld appears to be on the shell of a turtle,
Oh my
a
God.
massive turtle,
Oh my god.
Didn't know
the
this
size
before.
of the planet. No, you
Oh
didn't.
my God. This is, I look down at Twingo, who I assume is right beside me. So, see, I told you, it's all related to turtles. I told you. I think I've been spending 4 months trying to teach Twinga Common, just so we know. And in our off time, shooting whales off of the deck of the ship.
Yeah.
Oh,
I give Twinga the ring every once in a while,
shooting.
and just
I was
shooting
like,
whales.
why are
off
we
the-
shooting?
No,
the
no, 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 no,
keyboard?
no,
I
no.
was like, why are we shooting the space whales? They're so nice.
Okay,
and I are
we
big
got
hunters.
flat Earth,
Prey.
and we're hunting whales.
Wow,
No, we're
Rey's
not
getting
hunting
advanced
whales.
in
Really?
2023.
We're shooting spectral whales out of
For
the
the
ring.
people who have not seen this before, you have a.
I was gonna say we should actually
Yeah, we should
introduce our
probably
characters at
introduce
some
ourselves
point,
again.
but also
I
what
think
an
it's the perfect
introduction.
introduction. No.
Ray is a Firbolg, 8 feet tall. Worships turtles.
Is she
Has
really
a ring
8
of
feet tall?
something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, I forget how tall Ray is.
Ray is very tall. Yeah.
Yeah. Hanging out with a little blue elemental named Twinga. Yeah, who I've been trying to teach Common, Rich. Yeah.
Well, are we calling him Bud? Is his name Bud?
Named Bud. Yeah.
But Chwinga's really fun to
It
say.
is, yeah, fun to say.
Which apparently the
Especially the way
Chwinga
Rich-
agrees with, as the small, sort of vaguely turtle-faced, blue-skinned, fiery-haired, little 10-inch guy standing next to 8-foot-tall Reya, like, just looks up like, Chwinga.
whale, and and I tell him to shoot one.
Punches her fist in the air as a giant spectral whale shark lances off the top of the dragonfly while it.
That's
makes
one
its way
use
down.
of the ring today.
Good use.
Thank you.
What a way to.
But then I'm like
the
mesmerized
homeworld.
at the turtle. So that it's homeworld is on the back of a turtle.
You realize Homeworld much smaller than many of the other planets that you've been to, and it's really striking to you that you did not realize this before, as it is literally not a globe sitting on the turtle's back, but just the entirety of the turtle shell kind of grown over in this landmass. As you're coming down into it, you see hills and rivers, the lakes that you're used to and whatnot, kind of rolling across the landscape. Yeah, as I think that we watch the kind of ship like. Just closing down in on the world, the scene kind of fading into black, as then we see at the bottom of the title card now. And so we pick back up season 3 some 4 months after we last left all of you. You have in fact returned to Homeworld without any particular events. Your last excursion off ship was to deal with the Novacraft upon which you found A.D.A.M. The group of you are all returning to Homeworld. For some of you, a familiar place. For others, a place you've only been briefly before your initial excursion here. And I guess I just say to you, amidst these past months, I can certainly give you details and explanations of your circumstances. But if there are any conversations or anything you all want to be pursuing, you should let me know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Should we go around the horn and describe our character?
We should, sure. So I think that
Who starts?
I think that it should be you, Professor, as we're watching now the montage like shifting into the 5 of you, along with your associated companions, kind of marching off the back of the ship. The dragonfly, of course, named for its stylization, built like the insect of its name. It has these articulated legs, these 4 kind of thin glass steel wings, red, gold. The front windshield's made like the eyes of the insect to which it is known. And as the ramp drops down from the tail, we see the 8-foot tall, kind of green garbed Reya Dewbrook come striding out, her eyes black. Floating at her side is a kind of purplish orb, perhaps 4 inches in diameter, hovering over her shoulder, and the small blue-haired Tringa at her side. And striding right behind is the Professor Reginald Frybottom.
Yes. So I am play Professor Reginald Frybottom. He is a war magic wizard. And what does he look like? Well, he looks like this if you're watching the stream. He is a... Did I point in the right direction? Great. Yes, he is a... You may recognize him as a Giff. He is, in fact, a Giff-Q. And he and his compatriots will remind you of that. A subset of the Giff who has turned away from firearms and generally turned away from militarism and instead embraced learning and art and other things. The professor is... very taken by books and learning, by cryptography. He often wears little reading glasses, little pince-nez at the end of his snout, as well as like a tweed Norfolk jacket and a very smart bow tie, out of which magic missiles shoot sometimes. He's about 7.5 feet tall and some number of 100 pounds that depends on what planet he's on. So, weight is just a function of where you are.
It's all relative, as we see the well-dressed professor kind of striding out after Reya. I think following behind Lux.
Yeah, Lux looks like this sometimes. She doesn't look like that right now, but sometimes she does look like that. Lux is a 5'3". Gosh, we are really the height differences. I always forget sometimes the height differences. She's a changeling. I think at the moment, over the past 4 months that she there's been a little bit of a shift. I think that her normal white hair, that's sort of spiky, is sort of black now. I think she's going in like a black hair phase. Still kind of spiky, a little shaggy action happening. Ever in her kind of pirate-esque garb with leathers and these flowy shirts. And also ever at her side is Kadras, her black bow that has a tiny demon face on it that constantly criticizes her and tells her that she's a weakling. But yeah, she's a Horizon Walker Ranger and pilot / maybe captain of the Dragonfly.
/ maybe captain. Okay. Striding behind Lux, another side, Doc.
Yeah, so Doc is also a changeling. She's I described her as tall at 5'9", but like, you know, maybe
Yeah,
not so
beholder.
much. To me, she is tall. She's got very long, straight hair and it's like so white that it's actually got like a bluish tint to it. She's got gray eyes and she's very pale and kind of very long-limbed. And she's got a very like steampunk vibe to her look. She's got like goggles always affixed to her face and a vest with many pockets and kind of various attachments that she's attached to her armor for her various things. She is a Battlesmith Artificer / Arcanotech Wizard, which is a subclass that Rich invented for me because I was like, I don't like any of the existing ones, so let's make a new one. And Artificers used to be a like wizard subclass before they were turned into a class all their own. So we just sort of flavored it that way. And so that's all very cool and exciting. And she's very, not really willing to put up with too much straight talking, but very capable. Lux's best friend and mechanic of the Dragonfly. And she is constantly accompanied by her other best friend, Waffle, who is a small mechanical dragon who has matching goggles of his own and flies around with a butane light torch type lighter mechanism.
I think BB-8.
And who's recently got an upgrade, which is very fun.
We love to see upgraded Waffle striding behind Doc, the newest member of the crew, perhaps A.D.A.M. And Mike, what do we see?
Yeah, I mean, striding is a very nice way to put it, considering that he is at a very tall 2'9", so I think it's much more skittering along, attempting to keep up with the group, hence why he is in the back. A.D.A.M, which stands for Astronomically Destructive Antagonist Machine, is a warforged autognome, which was the first creation of Dr. Liwi Novik, which is the brother of Dr. Yasser Novik, who the Dragonfly has come across recently, a bit of a genius in his own right. His brother certainly in a respect as well, except Liwi had a different idea of creating essentially a mechanical army to take over the galaxy and rule under his own stead. And so A.D.A.M served dutifully as his right-hand man for a number of years before his untimely passing, where due to an unfortunate misunderstanding in his last words, A.D.A.M now believes he has to quote-unquote do good as his final set of instructions, even though he has no idea what that means, considering he's been working entirely in the service of an evil genius. As for his look, I would say take the image of the face of now canceled former game show host Chuck Woolery. The chiseled jaw, the very pronounced cheekbones, the always constant preening smile, and place that on top of, again, a 2'9" body that is certainly a duller gold than it has been in the past, but still gleaming to a certain respect. You'd be able to see, if you looked very closely, several panels that have, specific symbols on them that can be used to channel powers that existed within A.D.A.M that unfortunately Dr. Liwi has not been able to replicate since. In the interim, it's been a lot of learning. It's been a lot of absorption. It's been a lot of getting to know these people and trying to figure out exactly what their deal is, as well as getting to know the world. There was a really unfortunate incident where trying to follow Reya and Schwinga, he unfortunately took things a bit too literally and did shoot a whale, thinking that's exactly what they were doing, thinking that's
Come on, let's go shoot whales, and then.
well, Roger, and it's just, you know, he again does not exactly have a concept as to what people usually do for leisurely activities, and so he just assumed, again, given his upbringing, that shooting natural aquatic space wildlife is the main thing to do.
I think we made a deal with Lux where like we did collect the whale without anybody noticing, and then we're like, we've just been eating whale. I mean, like, how do we get this whale? Like, I don't know. Jake must have just had it in the storage unit, I guess.
Flashbacks to season 1
Yeah, I know.
Literally,
where we
season 1,
harvested
episode
a
1.
space whale.
Yeah, and so I think it's just
Lord.
been a lot of taking in information, but I would say very rarely digesting the information, more so just like storing it, saying I understand that reference, but less so about why that thing and that action is done.
More in RAM, less in memory.
Exactly,
Yeah, less on the hard drive.
Fantastic. And I think that coming out behind the pair of you is, of course, old Ben, a weathered, kind of hobbled, hunched over kobold, his red scales starting to go a bit gray around the edges, this kind of laughably small pair of wings projecting up off of his shoulders. He wears actually some fine clothes these days, sandals flapping, a bit of a messenger bag at his side with scrolls and parchment kind of jutting up out of it. He does have a crossbow slung over one shoulder. The small hobbling form of your elder halfling, kind of halfling kobold moving with you, right?
Ooh, Rich revealed the secret about Ben. He's secretly a halfling.
He's two halflings on top of each other.
Yeah, two halflings in a trash.
I was just
Honestly,
thinking
that would
about how
explain
many of our
so much.
characters had to stack on top of each other to equal one Reya.
Yeah, you need at least 2.5 potentially.
It's the entire party and then Reya and Reggie. That's it. 3 people.
That's why we always like make eye contact, like because we're just above everybody, and we make awkward eye contact.
Yes.
First thing you see.
Your head's towering over everybody else's. Following the group of you all is Naya, the Verdan Paladin, played by one Kevin Mahde, who is not here with us tonight, striding along, their hair kind of blonde, skin greenish, a long sword at their back, and shield, in this fine kind of oak-made armor with these runes etched and carved into it. And so it is that the 7 of you disembark from your ship, having returned to homeworld. You were received in a great flurry of activity. I think that the scene fades away and kind of local folk coming towards you, children like shouting and calling to one another, "They're back, it's real, the dragonfly has returned." And as the hours lead into the day, you all are escorted up to what essentially is a bit of a manor house almost on the hill. Homeworld has kind of what is called Harbor Town in this small sort of village down on this large, wide open lake, a series of rivers running up into the hills around it. But on one of these high hills overlooking the large lake, there is basically a manor almost. It is built more in the style of a kind of Mediterranean house with large open like piazzas, almost these plazas looking over lots of columns and kind of balconies for views down towards the village. And you know that this is the home of Yavanna, your patron. And so as the day wears on, you all eventually are escorted back up to Yavanna's palace, manor, house, compound, as it were. And I think that as the group of you are all kind of arriving, making your way up towards these large wrought iron gates, there's all kinds of foliage growing, vines and flowers blooming, insects buzzing everywhere, the sound of trickling water and streams and the small waterfalls around you as you come up to this kind of beautiful place. You would see waiting for you in the courtyard, amidst some people milling around, a woman striding forward. She's dressed in these kind of almost pinkish kind of silks and She has a veil wrapped around like her head, kind of, that she like raises up. Her skin tan and rich. She has these almost golden eyes as she's peering back to you, large earrings. As you all recognize Yavanna, having seen her a number of times. A.D.A.M, you're meeting her for the first time as she comes like striding forward, a wide smile on her face, kind of jewelry jangling and jingling on her hands and her wrists, necklaces, earrings, rings, bracelets, as she extends her arms like, "Oh, good. Welcome home. I'm so very glad to have you all back. Are you all
Hi.
well?"
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you over your jewelry.
You're new.
Adam.
We made a friend.
Yeah.
Lots of friends, actually.
Yes, you're quite good at that from what I can gather.
Yeah. You gain some, you lose some, you know? So.
Yeah, some of them died.
She pauses for a moment like,
And
I
then
can
none of
only hope their
the ones we
losses
started,
were
other.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right. I'm sure you're all exhausted. You've been away for some time, and I'm so very eager to hear everything that's occurred. I have apartments ready for all of you. I don't know if you wish
Oh.
private rooms or to stay with one another. Come. Some of you might remember my home, but it is yours for as long as you are to stay.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Doc, we should maybe check in on Mom and Dad.
Mhm.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, if they're even here, I don't even know. Did Lux see the peregrine as we like flew in?
Make a perception check. Or investigation.
I also could have. Well, I guess I don't. I guess I have tried to say. I guess I don't know them, but sending. In a
You
previous-
have
We've
tried.
tried this, and you've
Mhm.
lied to Lux.
I did.
about
You don't
this.
know. You don't know that.
I know. Lux does
19.
not know.
Lux, you got a pretty good look at the port next to Harbor Town, and you did not. You actually were quite shocked as you saw a series of other ships there, more than you're accustomed to, but the Peregrine was not amongst them.
Okay, so then yeah. Yeah, I
They're
didn't see the
mostly
peregrine. so I'm not
galleon
here.
style ships. The other ships that you saw, there were 4 of them, which is particularly unusual for you to see, built very much in the style of like a traditional sailing vessel with these huge kind of winged sails, common enough amongst the mercantile spelljammers that you're familiar with out there in the stars.
There was a bunch of weird, well, not weird, I guess, but weird. I haven't seen them here before. But yeah, I didn't see the peregrine, so Mom and Dad probably aren't here then.
Well, it's
We can
very
check out.
busy the time since you've been gone. There are, as I told you when I called you all back, delegates coming from a number of places, worlds that you've been to, some that I suspect you have not yet, but they're apparently, well, we're holding a council, I suppose. A great meeting, the likes of which I don't think has occurred in
Yeah.
a long time.
Could I ask who called the meeting?
It's a very good question. You met Redalia on your travels, my dear friend, the Bard of the Blossoms.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
I think
She's really pretty.
We did. Adam.
she is.
Oh,
You didn't,
okay.
but we did.
Mm-hmm,
We did.
I mean, Adam hasn't. But the rest
No,
of us-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she
No.
smiles at you a bit, Adam, and it's just like, I don't believe that she formally called for this, but her words carry weight and spread far, and once a meeting was decided, it seemed this was the most reasonable place for us all to gather. So they come here.
With my apologies, and with great appreciation for bringing us back and providing us lodging. How many people other than us know about this meeting?
Well, a handful more than that, I suppose, to be honest. There are...
Well, I simply was getting a sense of whether the security is of such a notion that one should be concerned, bringing to the homeworld all of these supposedly quite delightful people.
I mean, we're the security.
Well, of course, Lux.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay.
I mean, well, just this is our
that what
home.
we're doing?
No rabble rousing in our hometown, okay?
I
Unless
think
it's
that-
us.
I was gonna say
Part of-
I kind of wanted to do some rebel rousing.
Well, we can do that, but like we.
No,
we
there's
love to
plenty
get
of time
us.
for rousing rabble.
Okay, great.
We can have. It will take some time for everyone to gather. I think she looks to the professor. To your point, I cannot account for everyone who knows by this point, and so I hope that you might advise me on some matters of security, as we are perhaps not as accustomed here on Homeworld to this volume of visitors. I understand that you all have had a number of run-ins with shape changers in your travels.
Yes.
Can't say I have, no.
Adam's mostly been frozen in time, so he's
Yeah.
not going to have experienced much of what the rest of us
Yeah.
have.
Nope, and I've been living on a ship the entire time, so I know a lot about ballasts. Are there going to be ballasts here?
Yes, Adam is proven to be incredibly knowledgeable about military
Ballast,
matters and other such things. We've shared quite a few discussions. Understanding, you will see.
Yeah, I think to the point of who's coming, I guess we've sort of figured out the who, but maybe the why.
Also, wait. Oh my gosh.
We
have a
could do. We'll do
question.
why another time. We'll do that later.
No, Reya, you know how important this question is. You all know how important this question is.
You're
Oh,
wondering
yes,
about-
please.
Yeah.
I believe it is well past time to.
Yeah, we haven't done this. Are you
Yeah.
a dragon?
Oh, whoa.
Wait.
I thought you were gonna ask if there was any oppression here.
I live here. There better not be any oppression.
Well,
here.
we've been gone a long time.
I have to
you
say,
know.
the security team has been MIA for a number of years.
Yeah.
I
The
think
inmates
that
are running the prison.
as you ask this question, and she's kind of like looking from all of you as you the crosstalk and the chatter, kind of like smiling over all of you, and her eyes like fall back to you. I think Lux like lingering for a moment. Like,
Wait.
it would be highly inappropriate for me to lie to you about such a thing. There is no oppression. No oppression, Doc.
Knew that she was a dragon.
Did we know?
I don't think you did know.
I don't think we did
we
know.
knew.
Okay,
We know, but
You didn't know. I think
Okay,
we
I
knew.
mixed up.
But I think that the
Mm.
characters didn't know. And so I think it's a
Okay.
great moment of revelation. And suddenly, before you all on the scene, transforming, this woman begins to double in size again and again and over again until you see her filling up the entirety of the kind of courtyard around you. These pearlescent kind of greenish wings spiraling out around her. These luxurious kind of curls of this greenish aquamarine kind of hair rolling out, this horn protruding up off of her head, her eyes kind of emoting this radiant silver light over the courtyard as she looms up over you like, I am a dragon.
Oh my gosh, you're so pretty.
Well,
Wow, you're very
guess
tall. You're taller
I-
than Reya.
I think like Reg looks at Lux and Doc and Reya and it's like, lesson learned.
This is why we asked this
Yes.
question.
Oh my god!
Precisely.
Wait, is Naya with us?
Oh yes.
I like lunge for the I like him like grab.
I think all of you turn around as you see Naya is like holding the sword in the scabbard, and I think that their face is down very close to the scabbard, like, no, this one's going to be fine. I need you. No, shut up. And I just think that you hear the sword like, but we could have at it, and we could. And I think Naya's like, not now. This dragon is on our side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yes,
is.
and look how pretty
Certainly
she
hope
is.
so.
Ivana
I don't
paid for the ship.
know. I think Adam has been using the intervening months to make bonds with all the evil weaponry.
Oh, that's amazing. Contrast and A.D.A.M are close.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And so I think that, yeah, I mean, unless you guys have any pointed questions for us, as Naya kind of like wrestles the sword back into its back, you hear this grumbling coming from Naya's enchanted sword, Einreeve, the dragon slayer, like, I tell you, we could carve a wing right off the beast. And Naya's just like, enough, I'm very tired. We're going to sleep in beds. I don't need this from you right now.
Understood the Myriad asteroid. What's going on? I get a handle on that thing. Jeepers.
I'll be much better able to explain the whole situation next week, perhaps.
It's referred to as a
You
hit.
all are tired. We've had 4 months of just long resting.
Whoa.
Everyone's
I'm
tired.
So tired, really tired. Yeah.
I
I
shot a
was
lot of
thinking we should
whales.
go. Yeah, I did. We did shoot a lot of.
We've been doing a lot of work.
Who is that? Who said that? Who said that? I
Rich,
received a lot of
I
work.
feel compelled
I
to
think that
just
was the-
clarify one
Wait.
thing, which is at the point in the scene, we took like 1 month to get back to Homeworld,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, yeah. We haven't.
Okay.
Only
I
one
just wanna,
month of
like,
long rest.
set
Yeah. It's
where-
only,
where I am.
Oh,
we
it's
we
only been
still have
1
the
month.
other bit.
It's
yeah.
only been
Yeah.
1 month
We still have the other
in
bit to go.
space to get
And
back
so
to
now we'll fast forward a little bit. Yeah, there's
Oh,
plenty of
gotcha.
time for you all to like
Gotcha.
talk or whatever. Yeah, this is the very kind of slow roll time jump. Please forgive my cat who just screams at me if I don't pick him up in a very rough way. So, yeah, ultimately, I think that like after a moment, this enormous kind of glittering pearlescent, almost like aqua green dragon shifts back down into the form of the woman in front of you, as it were. And she just says, please, let us get you all situated. Food, drink, there's much to celebrate, much to discuss, and I'm sure questions, if you have any. I hope this doesn't change anything between us.
No, you just became a lot cooler. Can you
Yeah.
teach people how to do that? Also, how do you fit all the dragon into the human part of it?
Magic.
Wait,
Oh.
hold on. Ask that question again. Lex, how do you fit all the dragon part into it? What'd you say?
How do you fit all the dragon into the human part of it?
My
I
God.
feel like you should know more than any. You could.
No.
You were a changeling. You should know more than you know.
Well, I don't know how to chain it to a dragon, though.
Try. Have you ever tried though?
You just saw one. Can't you just sort of mirror it?
Try it.
Try it. Yes.
Try.
I think Lux does anything happen, Lux?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she turns into the closest thing that she can get to a dragon, which is probably like a dragonborn. I
Yeah, I
imagine.
think we see your size like hulk up. These scales start like protruding through your skin as you shift into like dragonborn, standing towering 5'8", probably.
Wow.
Oh.
Towering.
How am I looking?
You're towering. Yeah.
Hey, Reya, you're so tall.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
intimidating.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Perhaps one should work on the vocal effects.
I don't think I can teach you how to do it. No.
Oh,
That's okay.
Yes.
Then again,
That's fine.
it's a strange world out there.
Are there more
Huh.
dragons here? Oh, sorry.
Well, there are many questions one could ask right now, and I guess perhaps the most prevalent one is how much time do we have to ask you questions?
Mm-hmm.
I
think
don't
it would
mean
be
to
at least
pepper
3
you
months.
with all sorts of inquiries out here on the street.
I think it will be at least 3 months before everyone is able to arrive. There are
Lovely.
individuals coming from far parts without the type of transit that you all have access to. Others from closer, but it will be some time before they all regather. The ship is damaged by my understanding as well, and I had hoped to help you bolster it before you return back to the stars.
The ballista came right off.
We have a lot of suggestions. I have a lot of suggestions. I'm sure Doc does too.
Yeah, I was about to make a snide comment about why couldn't you wait 3 more months to call us back here, but never mind. Ignore that.
I will. That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you drink, Adam?
What?
The 2 nods. Good. Follow me then. And yeah, I think that the scene fades out as she kind of like leads you into the main manor house. These big kind of verandas on the outside, sort of balconies, like peering down all these kind of steps, the sound of the river sort of running down the hillside around the outside of this estate, as it were. And she brings you all like to your very accommodating apartments where you're going to be able to stay in her sort of estate over the period of the next couple of months. You have plenty of time for spell copying, ship upgrading, discussions, questions, anything like that.
Doc sneaks out every single night and goes and sleeps at her old place.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Doc, I'm going to start with you since you took the initiative. On perhaps the fourth or fifth night, as you make it to your old place, I think that you spot a figure kind of like watching you as you're approaching down the street, walking kind of through Harbor Town, heading towards your uncle's old shop, your Uncle Axel's old shop.
Yep. Yeah.
Doc,
It was sort of like
here.
a bit. Yeah. So it was like a bit out of the way, kind of across the dunes. And it was sort of a like somewhat secluded workshop that Axel lived in, that Doc lived in with Axel. And it's just got like, it's where all of the like, he was like largely like mechanic for hire, and so it's where she it's got a whole bunch of his old tools and his old books and stuff. He was quite the reader, and yeah, so I think it's been a very long time since she was back, and I think that she's just kind of soaking up the opportunity to like be alone for a bit, because like that isn't it's something that she was for a very long time before the ship, and I think that she's just also kind of pouring through and kind of refamiliarizing herself with everything that was back there, now with fresh eyes, now that she's been like traveling around the world.
Heck yeah. So I think it's actually after probably a couple of 10 days, maybe like during the second or third week, that you're making your way back here in the evening, that as you're coming in, you note a figure watching you as you're approaching, which strikes you because it's far enough off the beaten path that there's not a lot of folks meandering out here. And I think that as you're approaching a bit closer, you recognize that this is a gnome. And I think that he waves to you as you're making your way down towards the shop and kind of starts striding over. You see, he's got this kind of silvery hair, this long pointed beard, a little bit of a man bun tied up, his ears pointed, face wrinkled. He's got some years and age to him, with a pair of goggles, not entirely dissimilar from yours, up on his forehead. And as he comes approaching you, I think he's just like, well met there. You wouldn't happen to be who I think you are you? Are you the niece of the engineer and the mechanic Axel who used to live here? You're Doc, aren't you?
Yeah. Why do I not know who you are?
I'm not from around here generally. I've only just recently returned to this neck of the woods, and I had come hoping to reconnect with your uncle, but I did not realize he had passed.
A while ago now.
It's been quite a while since I've been back here. I'm sorry, I did not introduce myself. My name is Dr. Lannelemon.
Dr. Lemon?
That's right. Dr. Lannelemon.
Nice to meet you. I'm just Doc, not a real doctor.
I heard you're part of the crew of that ship that just returned the other day, aren't you? You're a bit of a celebrity around these parts, and well, I just heard some folk talking about how Axel's niece was the mechanic on that ship.
I mean, he taught me everything he knew. Sorry, why do you...
Oh, I apologize. I don't mean to be intruding on your space or your time, miss. If I'm being perfectly candid, I came back here because I heard rumors of that very ship. There's folk, well, talking about you all, hopping planet to planet, adventures and the like, and it's a very unique piece of technology and equipment, something the likes of which has not been seen or studied. I'd hoped perhaps I might be able to talk with your uncle, but I mean, now you're here in the person, and you would likely be a better conversationalist to the matter, but I thought perhaps you might be able to teach me a bit about it.
I mean, no one knows that ship better than I do. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Do you want to come in?
Well, I don't want to intrude on your privacy or your grief, if that's what it is. I heard that somebody had been coming out here in the past couple of nights, and I thought perhaps I might be able to make your acquaintance and ask you personally. If you'd be open to it, perhaps I could buy you lunch one of these days, and you could show me around your ship.
I mean, maybe lunch first. Talk about it.
I understand. I don't want to bother you. I can leave you to your night, but I just wanted to make my introduction and say hello.
Say hello? Yeah, Finky?
You brought me my shirt.
Aww. You catch a fetch.
Aw. I mean, it's not, it's fine. Yeah, we should. I'm happy to talk about it.
I would very much appreciate that. I'll look forward to it. I'm staying down in the village. You can find me at the Long Branch Inn.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stop by.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Doc. And I think he offers his ruddy little hand to shake yours. And he shakes your hand as the scene fades out. Who else wants to do anything?
I was going to say, Duck is immediately going to go back and pore over every log available to try to find this guy's name. See if he's on the up and up.
Oh, fascinating. Give me an investigation check, Doc.
Okay.
And she's going to spend some time at it, right? Like she's hanging
Yeah,
out.
and we're gonna flash of genius that to make that at 21.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I will circle back on that, Doc.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I can go. Professor can go. So I think in the month on the way back to Homeworld, Reg would be focused on two things. One would be spending time with Doc, poring over the book that we found on the asteroid, which you'll have to remind me the exact name of.
The book about Zeri and stuff.
Constructs and Construction, a manual
gonna say the
detailing numerous mechanical devices, including Spelljammer helms, engines, and a variety of useful constructs.
Yeah, I would consider that, if you would agree, Melissa, an area of great interest.
Oh yeah, I'm sort of assuming this is partially where Waffle's upgrade comes from, is this book. So.
And then I think the other part of the month on the way to Homeworld would be meeting A.D.A.M, getting to know A.D.A.M, and having these bizarre combat fireside chats wherein they talk about the military, the being part of a schema of structure and power, but the ways in which they are vastly different.
Yeah, I think A.D.A.M would take the professor by title and rely on him as this ever-flowing fountain of knowledge about the world, and usually feels like everything he should learn about the universe should be through him. And so I think he's very much his shadow, in a manner of speaking, trying to just soak up as much information as he possibly can from this source.
Meanwhile, I think the professor is deeply curious about A.D.A.M and A.D.A.M's past and history, and what were you doing and how did that work, and all of that.
So then, so what do you have a plan of what you would want to do? Because A.D.A.M would be happy to tag along to whatever mischief you're up to.
Yeah, I think in terms of well, I don't know that A.D.A.M would enjoy all of what Reginald's mischief is. I think one thing they would commiserate on is that they maybe both don't know how to have fun necessarily in a conventional sense. I think for Reg, his first priority on landing on Homeworld would be books. just give me new books, because I've been reading the same books for months. And so I do think there's like, maybe there's a scene with me taking A.D.A.M to either a library or a bookstore for the first time and explaining how this works.
So to that, I think that as your need and desire for books is expressed, I think that Yavanna smiles quite widely at you and is like, well, Professor, I know I gave you access to some materials when you were here first time, but you were not here very long, and I did not know you quite as well. If you would... and I think that she like leads you through the kind of sprawling estates of her kind of palace grounds, as it were, into this area that she kind of gestures around and says, my study. And as you come in, you see this room is kind of vibrant green. It literally has almost like an oasis right in the center of this kind of library, as it were. These strange statues and kind of suits of armor set up and established around this place. You come through the central room and like down through this kind of central corridor where there is literally like this pool of water right in the center of what seems like this library. And she says, I suspect these tomes are not the ones that will interest you as greatly. They're dream journals, actually. Of
what?
Dream journals.
What is a dream?
Oh, you poor being. Do you not know of dreams?
Well, I don't sleep, so naturally I would have no construct of what a dream is.
I think she glances at you, Professor, like, do you think Doc could do something for him? Would it?
What? Go create some form of electric sheep modification type memory?
Well, dreams are... I mean, that is a whole world, a whole another lives that you get to live there. I don't...
apologies. You remember your dreams?
Oh, do you not?
I couldn't say that I do. I mean, perhaps
I remember
everyone.
as many as I can. I try to remember the dreams of all those who have called this place home. It's not something I speak of often. There are not many that I could speak to it about, but this place, homeworld, all of it, I'm not some civic-minded bureaucrat, Professor. I never thought to be a leader of souls or people, administrator, a mayor.
One moment, please. A bureaucrat is someone who's part of a large organization and, with all due respect, generally blabbers about and accomplishes roughly nothing.
Yes, I've been sent on many missions where I've ripped bureaucrats in two.
And I think she said, oh, you do fit right in with everyone then, don't you? They do not like bureaucrats generally.
Dragon Lady, may I borrow a dream journal? I'd much like to find out what this dream entails.
Yes, please. And I think she leads you to the other side of this like little oasis area, A.D.A.M, and like gestures to a chair as she reaches up onto the shelf.
No thanks, I brought my own. And his legs will just snap to a 90-degree angle.
As we watch A.D.A.M like fold down into like this kind of impossible position, chink. She pulls a book off the shelf and she says, this is the journal of a half-elven boy who lived here for many years. He dreamed rich, bold stories of...
Oh wait, these aren't your dreams?
They are dreams which have been shared with me. I tried to make them mine now, but they weren't at first.
That's a little selfish, isn't it? Those are other people's dreams.
Adam, I believe that Ivana is attempting to share that goodness with us now. So it is quite the opposite of selfish, in a way.
Ah, the half-elf is dead. I get it now. Yes, please. Share me
Precisely.
the story of the dream of the dead elf.
Do you know how to read?
We'll see.
And I think she puts the journal in your hand. Like, I believe that the tomes you're looking for are upstairs, Professor. Please.
Yes, but perhaps before I go, would there happen to be a dream journal of any sort of mage or other arcane person within these parts?
She smiles at you, kind of wryly, like, oh, indeed, more than a few. Here, I will show you. As she kind of like leads you off to this far corner of the room. I think she like gestures into this whole kind of northwestern corner of the room, where you see a series of books and scrolls. They're all mismatched in different styles, different covers, different papers, different kind of scripts and languages written on them. And I think she like leans in almost a little conspiratorially towards you, Professor, glancing back at Adam and says, can I make a confession?
Yes. I do not provide legal services.
No, that's okay. I am the head bureaucrat in charge around here. So
yes, right, of course. You are rich and powerful. The consequences of your actions never come upon you. Continue.
No, very rarely. Well, this is the whole reason this place exists. I started to learn the stories, the dreams of the people here, and well, the more I gathered, the more I realized how rich and full they were. All I ever wanted was to provide a place of safety, security. Those who live whole lives, fulfilled lives, dream bold and incredible things. I just wanted to give them a place to dream their dreams, that I might share them. I think your friend is not all that far off. It was a selfish thought.
I think Reginald looks over at Adam, and I imagine that Adam is doing something that calls upon the response from Reginald. Oh, I think we have some ways to go.
Ha 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 ha! The elf's teeth fell out! Oh, this is a delightful story!
I'm thankful for you bringing us here and for all that you have done to support the work of the Dragonfly. While I may not remember my dreams that I have at night, in a way, going on adventures with incredible people and making the world a better place is the fulfillment of my life's dream. Thus far, at least.
That's reassuring. I've tried to ensure that you all had what you need, but I fear I will need to ask for your support in the coming months. Nonetheless, I'm very grateful that you all have found something rewarding in what you're doing together. Anyway, there is a more tactile library upstairs, more concerned with the matters of the waking world. The books I think that you seek, you should find.
Yes. I've grown quite tired of my current tomes. And I think the professor will then, over the next few 10 days, head up to this other library from Yavanna, and basically in whatever room he is constant stacks of books where he is just he's basically sorting and cataloging and trying to optimize information out of this library. But I think there's also a moment of realizing not everything he's going to read is should be out of this one place. So over the course of the future months, there will be more exploring of the town and trying to see what other things he can pick up.
Got it. Meanwhile, Adam, as you're able to dig into these dream journals, is there anything else that you want to pursue? Do you want to talk to any of your other crewmates? Or is there any exploring you want to do? Anything else you need?
I think Adam wants to explore the house for structural damage?
For structural damage.
I think he's looking for any weak points of the house, because he's usually, almost like it takes a thief to catch a thief, right? He's used to being sent in on dastardly missions to infiltrate, I would say, large estates, perhaps like this one, of heads of state, in order to sometimes assassinate them or do even worse to them at certain points. And so I think he's just sort of out of a force of habit, worrying his way around the estate once he gets bored with the dream journals, looking at just the literal palatialness of it, and see if there's any other fun things to be found.
Excellent. I think that as you scan around, the buildings all seem to be very well repaired. It's like you're right on the edge of a lake that's big enough that it's got its own tide up here on the hill that it comes in and comes out. As you escort yourself around the grounds outside, you notice what appear to be these cannons that are forged of this kind of greenish, bluish metal that seem to be recent additions to the whole kind of harbor side. Along the western wall are all of these large cannons that are being mounted in. I think that you see even a couple of workers on one afternoon, seating one down, cinching it into its holdings and its pivots. They're kind of oiling and greasing the fittings so that it's got movement and maneuverability. Though you note that there's no cannonballs or anything like that near them, but there does seem to be a concerted effort to up the defensive measures of this place happening around you during the days that you're here.
Adam will then whir himself over to the workers, and he'll say, "Nice cannons!"
And so I think that one of the fellows kind of turns, looking up back to you yeah, you bet they are. They're real nice. These are fresh made Arcano cannons. No joke.
I was not joking. Pray tell, why would you be putting cannons in? Are we expecting more dragons to fly in?
Look, I just do what the job says to do. They told me that we need to install these things, so I'm installing these things. I don't know much about security. I mean, wait, did you say dragon?
Oh, there's a dragon here. Did you not know that?
Holy sweet mother of turtles! I think he turns, look at one of the other guys here. Harv! This here metal fella. I'm sorry. Oh, what's your name?
Adam! Thank you. So nice to meet you as well. I didn't catch your name.
Too. You're rather short. Holy cow, I didn't realize how low down in the ground you are.
Adam, not rather short.
All right, Adam, not rather short. Adam, not rather short here says there's a dragon here, Harv. And I think that the guy next to him is just yeah, I know. I know. What do you mean you know? I'm pretty sure that the woman who owns... Did you not see her transform into a dragon? I mean, it just happened last week. It's been getting around everywhere. You need to stop drinking, Dimitri. And I think that Dimitri turns back to you wait, is that the same dragon you're talking about, little man?
I don't know. What does that other dragon look like?
Wait, I'm so confused, man. Did you see another dragon? Harv! Come on, man, help me get straight here. And I think that as Harv and Dimitri are kind of going back and forth here for a moment, I think Harv looks at you, Adam, he took a bad head blow last year, fell down off one of the boats. He spent some time underwater. He's not quite been entirely right.
If I had a piece of gold for every time I did that to somebody, I'd be able to buy one of these cannons.
Hey, you look pretty strong for a not so short guy. Could you help me with this?
Oh, of course. What do I get in exchange?
I could polish your head or something. I don't.
You've got yourself a deal, friend. And he just starts lifting up things.
And so as Addison's moving the cat, and these two workers, Harv and Dimitri, kind of standing there with them. Harv's smiling. Dimitri is just peering into the sky, muttering to himself, dragons. I can't believe there's dragons.
Adam!
Oh, not new papa! Come quick! A man will shine my head.
What? Goodness! Shine your head. That is quite an offer that Yeah, and I think like you would sense like the professor is very nervous around this cannon. I think he's like very confused by this. Apologies. Are we bothering you in some way?
No, man, but you better keep your head up because I heard there's dragons here.
Oh, well, isn't that lovely?
The scene fades.
Adam, let me come and show you what a puzzle is.
Oh, please, Papa. Right after my head is polished. My head has not been polished in decades.
Okay, at the start of tonight, I did not expect to hear the phrase, "Oh, please, Papa," right after my head is polished.
Never know what you're gonna get.
Nope.
It's like a box of chocolates. Reya, Lux, how about
Yeah,
you two?
I'm gonna recruit Lux for a mission. I think that I would call Lux on a day where nobody else is, and I would call like Lux, you could come into the storage room, and I think when you come into the storage room, Chwing and I have just like torn it apart. I think not on purpose.
Of the ship, of the actual dragonfly. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the
Yeah,
dragonfly.
Lux is
Yeah.
like spending a lot of time around the dragonfly. I think
Yeah.
so. This makes sense.
And I just like yeah. So I got Jake to build me a secret compartment to store some stuff, and I cannot figure out where
Can't
it is.
figure out
So-
where it is.
And I think I've tried to task Chwinga, who was very good at like finding the sending stone, right? Like to just do it, but it's just caused chaos.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Don't you have the ability? Do you have the ability to locate things?
Oh, tomorrow I do. Do I? No. Yeah, hold on. Let me remember. Yeah, tomorrow I do. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I can't. I'm thinking of a different character sheet.
And also, when we find it, which I'm sure we'll find it, it's got to be here. So it's just a secret.
Yeah.
I saw Jake open
Okay.
it like a million times, like built into the wall, but I can't figure it out. I'm also gonna need your help in trying to transport the goods that are inside all the way back to Pavis secretly without telling anybody else.
Oh, I'm born for that. That's what I do. I can do that.
Great. That's great.
Easy peasy.
Great.
Okay, so you want me to help you find the secret?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find the secret the compartment it's in the storage unit.
Okay, I can definitely help you.
Great. What would you like us to do, Reg?
Yeah. Okay, dude.
That's a great question.
Please, DM.
Do you remember when Jake opened a secret storage component with extra cheese? That's what I think that I asked him to put the Chrono Lily sap in there. Yeah.
Lux, let me have you make an investigation check.
Investigation, you said? Sorry, my hair is getting crazy. All right, investigation. 15.
A 15 is not bad. It only takes you 2 hours of searching as you're kind of like wading amidst the like mess and the chaos that Chwinga and Reya have inadvertently created in the back. The other trouble is like Chwinga keeps like growing little plants off the walls of the ship. Every time like you touch the wall, his little blue hand is like Chwinga, and like a little bud pops out of the wall. And so now there's all these dead flower petals all over the place.
I keep getting this. The reason I keep getting distracted, I think, because I'm trying to teach Chwinga common. So every time I like find like I find like whale, I'm like whale meat. And I just say that's
Chwinga.
so close.
We need to get this little buddy a garden, okay?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that,
Yeah.
okay? I'm gonna
Okay,
make you a
great.
raised bed on the top of the ship. You like that, bud? You'll have a great time with it.
And I think that over the course of like the hours, Lux like searching quietly, you've got like your ear up against the wall, like knocking as you go, you're feeling like the seams between the boards when finally you like find this panel that you push in, and the whole panel like just folds back and like drops down into the wall, revealing the small secret cubby. Jake, master of his craft.
Did I
there
break it? How are
yeah.
you supposed to get that back up?
I don't know.
It's just in the wall now. I can't see it anymore.
Is there anything other than Chrono Lily in there? Well, first of all, is there Chrono Lily in there?
There are the 2 vials of
vials,
Chrono
yeah.
Lily sap.
Yeah.
There's also a bunch of moldy cheese, and
Isn't that how you make cheese? I ask.
Really?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. It smells really bad.
Yeah. Cheese.
Ugh.
Lots of cheese smells bad.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of cheese. Why would you eat cheese that smells bad?
I don't get it either, but some people really like it.
I think you guys just hear like,
Yeah, that's
if
right.
you looked at it, you see like, he's got like cheese mustache all. He's
Alright,
very
well,
sloppy.
I
you
can't
like
tell
it,
if that
I
was
mean-
moldy cheese or blue cheese. I can't tell.
You know what? Reggie probably eats sneaky cheese.
I bet he does. Yeah.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so I take the look. This is a very important back home. So I need to
Yes.
send this back home.
Okay.
So we need to find somebody who can cook, but I also need it to be a sort of. I need them to be very discreet. It needs to be someone you can trust because I don't want anybody back home to figure out it was from me. So
Okay, so you can just call my mom again.
great. Well, but I need we should probably get out of here like today. So if the Peregrine is in here, then we
Yeah, if the Peregrine's not here, I mean, we could wait to see if they come in the next little while. I don't know if they'll be home soon.
pretty on a pretty big time crunch, you know.
Or I can probably hook you up with one of my parents' friends, which I
Yeah.
totally know.
Well, what do you mean? Just to send. I'm not interested in date. Wait, what?
No. Not in that way. Just like I could
Yeah.
yeah, my parents had friends. They're like
Oh.
so come
Why?
here.
Oh, now we're whispering about your
Come here,
friend,
come here.
your dad's friend. Yeah. There's nobody
What?
else on the ship.
Bud, you're not allowed to tell anybody about this. Do you understand? Well, where's Ask?
Right here.
like behind my
Yeah, I
head.
think it like floats up over Rachel.
I know it's very difficult for you to see above the tall profile of Reya
Yeah.
Dewbrook, but I am nearby.
Literally all
Yeah,
the time.
well, okay, so I guess everybody's just gonna know. It's fine.
No,
None of you can tell
Why
anybody
is
about
it
this.
assumed that I cannot keep a secret? You have no idea how many secrets I have.
Don't creep me out. You're a weirdo. Stop.
It's not my fault that you want to call your mother, and you are afraid that I will reveal this to the others. You need only ask.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Excuse you? What?
Very well, you may be excused. Ha. Ha.
Stop laughing. Never do that again.
Ha.
Never ever do that. Stop it.
Ha.
Okay, wait. What?
Just
So
did it
polite.
What's
again.
what's the secret?
I'm
What's
trying to tell Reya something important. Go away. Jeepers. Okay. My mom and dad. We they like go around and they save changelings and like smuggle them to safe places around the world.
Oh,
But yeah. You can't tell anybody about because it's like a secret. Because we are really cool and like people like Doc and I, but a lot of people really don't like changelings that much. So
why? Why is that?
because they think that we're untrustworthy and weird because we can change our shape and stuff like that. So it's like a whole.
So
but-
can Firbolgs can they change? Well, not like only for like an hour, but you know.
But my mom and dad, their cover is that they ship stuff, which they do. They make like pretty good money. We have like a little apartment here somewhere that I should probably go check out, make sure that everything's okay.
Yeah.
But so they're really good at keeping things discreet. But they certainly have friends, and they might have one of those friends here in the city. I just have to go check out some places. I know
Davis is
everybody.
pretty far, but I would like it to go there. And they're gonna have to figure out how to just discreetly get it to my brother. So without anybody else
Easily
knowing.
done. So many people that my parents knew are so good at sneaking things, and a lot of them are just looking for fun stuff to do, and they love me. So
And they can't steal the Chrono Lily because that would defeat the whole purpose of the
if they
mission.
steal the Chrono Lily, then they'll be ruining like years of a business relationship and friendship with my parents. So I don't think they would do that.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Where do we find? Let's go find them.
Hey, Rich, where would I find one of my parents?
So I think that's like the group of you who are making your way up off of the ship. Reya, with the high passive perception, you spot old Ben seemingly talking to somebody on kind of like the far end. So the ship is actually in a hangar. The Dragonfly would have been brought into a hangar as all these repairs are coming. So I think as the pair of you like emerge from the hangar out into the sunlit sky, like you're blinking a little bit from the darkness of being indoors, looking around, and you spot on like the corner of one of the streets here in Harbor Town, Ben is talking to this woman who is in these kind of clerical vestments. She has literally like a staff leaning up against her shoulder that has this almost like flag, a pennant hanging down off of it with like scripture written on it. But you note on her shoulder, it is the holy symbol of the Dash Eclipse.
Ben's talking to them?
Yes, and Ben is like talking to them down on the end of the alley or at the end of the street at like the corner.
I'm going to like try as best as possible to essentially like cover up my like this is symbol essentially, and then walk over and be like, "Oh Ben, no, we have so much important business. You better go. You gotta go.
Let me have you make a stealth check to hide your symbol there as you come striding down the street.
18.
18, excellent. And so I think that as you are striding up, you see this priestly looking woman who is speaking to Ben, as it were, and Ben kind of like leaning up, looking towards her as, give me 1 second here. Where'd I go? Oh, right. Would you roll 17?
18.
18, that's a good one.
I did roll 17. I got +1.
Oh, yeah. As you come striding up, she like just glances at you before looking back to Ben. And the woman is kind of like saying to Ben, like, yes, the Dash Eclipse can help you with this concern that you have. We are the fastest growing religion in the stars. Soon, all will come to our path, and you can join with us to resolve your need that your friends have left overlooked.
No, that's due to that's due to Plateau. We gotta go.
I'm so sorry. Excuse me. That Ben is a part of a crew already, and you can't have him.
Oh, hey, how you doing, ladies? It's good to see you again.
And what are you doing? Are you considering leaving?
No, this is a really nice person that I just met here in town. Her name is Sita Kier, and she's also a religious kind of individual, sort of like you, Reya. And so I
don't think exactly like me.
No, nobody's exactly like you. There's nobody. You're one of a kind.
Yeah. We better go. We have so much work to do.
I guess I've got to go. I got a lot of work to do, and I don't have that much time left to do it because I'm very old. I don't know if you realize that because I'm a kobold, and you're clearly a human being, but it's a very
He puts the old in kobold. We gotta go.
Okay, it was nice to meet you. I'll see you later.
So like you say. He's like shuffling after you as you're pulling away down the street, and this woman.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, she's just peering at you as you go, and I think that she nods and is just like, "You may be on a different path, old Ben, but you walk in the footsteps of the Dash Eclipse before you. Do not forget it."
Excuse me, I have a question for you. Kita, did I get that correctly? Kita?
I'm sorry. My name is Sita.
Sita, sorry, I had the C. Sorry. I'm Lux, and I'm the pilot of this here vessel. And what are you doing down by the hangars? What are you doing here?
I am here on business of my order.
Why do you talk like that?
I'm sorry if my speech patterns are humorous to you, but I
didn't laugh. I was just asking because I've never heard anybody talk like you before. I'm just curious.
I speak the way that I have learned, and no other. Common is not my first language.
That's totally fair. Just curious.
I have heard the people of your kind speak in many dialects, Changeling.
Ooh.
So what you're gonna do right now is walk away and never come back to the ship again, okay?
Oh, that's so convenient. We also have to walk away, and I try to pull Lux to walk with anyway.
Yes, follow in the steps of your tall friend, such that you order commands at me when you have no authority.
No
I am
authority.
nowhere near your ship, and I am welcome in this open city, or am I not?
This is my ship, and this is my hangar, and you're talking to my crewmate and trying to recruit him for some weird dasher clip thing.
I am
You
terribly
can walk
sorry, old
away.
Ben. I did not realize that you were in the possession of this quite itinerant.
Nobody is
changeling
in
pilot.
possession of anybody. He's my
Well,
friend.
that is not what you just said, is it?
This is my ship.
And you have absolute authority on all regions
Oh,
within hundreds of feet
yeah.
of it?
This is my home. Where are you from?
I am from someplace else. I have taken it as my duty to spread the word of the Dash Eclipse across the many worlds of the stars. And I
Oh,
have
what
come
another
here-
coincidence. Someplace else. That's where we have to be. Come on.
It's like, look, we've got a lot of work to do, and I did not get my nap this morning. So if we could speed along, maybe.
Yeah, come on.
Go somewhere else.
I think that I will remain here for the afternoon. I am certain we will see each other again.
Nothing better than an NPC who knows exactly which buttons to push on left.
And knows where she is.
Yeah, really. And I think as you're all walking off, I think Ben looks over at you, looks like,
Was did she say something insulting to you? Or something? She was really very nice to me.
Ben, what are you doing talking to somebody that's trying to like recruit you to a weird cause?
They weren't
know-
trying to recruit anything. She just
No,
asked how
Ben.
I was doing, and we got
Red-
into a
That's how
conversation.
they
Red
do it,
orb.
Ben.
Red orb. Damn, I told
orb?
you this before. Red
Red
orb.
orb.
Yeah. Red orb. I've told you
Where?
this. No, she had a red orb. Shell with a red orb is bad.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
bad.
Turtle
one.
shell with a blue orb, great. And actually, you haven't officially joined, but now would be a great time to confirm your commitment to the Clancy.
I'm not opposed.
Oh, it's
I'll be
good.
honest
Yeah.
with you. I've always
Yeah, it's
found
fine.
you-
It's fine. It's fine. It's wrong time. It's fine.
It
But
might
just
be the
red
wrong
orbs.
time.
No, red orbs, not great. Dasher
What are we
clips.
doing again? What am I
I'm
doing?
not sure. You both told me I had a lot of work, and so you
Rhea,
pulled
what
me
are we
away from the
doing right now?
conversation with that
We
lady.
we got to
I'm
send
mad.
Krona Lily back to Pavis. So
Right,
let's- yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
What?
Great.
Yeah.
What just happened? Why was she doing that? Why was that lady doing that?
Because they're a tyrant group. They're a sect of Clancy followers who
She
believe.
did say
you
they
know,
were the fastest growing expansive religion in the
that'll-
known sphere.
that'll plateau. Obviously, that
that.
you can't exponential growth. Not no.
Right,
You
right.
say so. I'm really grateful that you two are so much wiser than I am, or I'd probably get myself into a good lick spittle of trouble.
You
Yeah,
do
you
that
could have
already.
joined any
We're
cult.
here, okay.
Yeah.
You really could probably be in. Are you in a lot of cults? Because I feel like that might not be that far.
No,
away.
I'm not even in one cult. Are you?
I don't think so.
Wait, did I just join a cult?
No.
But
Different.
did you accept her offer?
I don't think so, but now I don't remember. My memory might not be trustable.
I
because
mean,
I'm very
I don't know if I'm
old.
in a cult either. I don't know. Let's just go. We need to do something.
No,
There's
we're
something
not
that we're
in-
doing.
We're
I
not in.
think we might need to go get deprogrammed, Reya.
Yeah, we're not. Let's go. All right.
So we watch as the three of you are like striding into the town proper.
Yeah.
Doc, we're bouncing around a lot. With your, what did you roll? 21 on your history check as you were looking for Dr. Linalaman. You do come up with the name. There is in one of his journal entries a note from Axel from like 10 years ago. How long has he been gone? Longer than that?
How long have we actually been away?
About a year, two maybe.
Okay. And Taylor, how long ago do you think they last hung out?
Oh, jeez. All the what do you mean? Like us? Like
Yeah.
with people? I imagine that whenever Lux was in town, that she was basically hanging out with Doc and her Uncle Axel. Unless they were like, okay, Lux, like, it's time to go home. And Lux would be like, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I think he's probably been gone. I would say like 3 to 4 years, and I think probably the last few times Lux came back, she like couldn't find Doc.
Yeah, that
Okay,
tracks.
notable. So I think it was about 10 years ago that you find this note in one of his old logs that Axel writes that a gnome named Lenalaman showed up asking about Spelljammer craft and Spelljammer hounds and the modification of them, the development of them. And Axel had like some theories and some conjecture, and they like chatted for a few hours, but ultimately he got the impression that the gnome was looking for very like actionable information and practical knowledge that Axel didn't necessarily have available for him. He was interested in developing new types of ships, prototype ships, and his specifically was asking about like how to attach Spelljammer helms to different types of ships.
Okay. Is there any sort of no, so my like impression of Axel has always been that he was like a very like man of few words, but like deep like wisdom and intelligence. Did he like get a vibe of this guy at all? Would he have like made a note of like anything?
Great question. Yeah. So I think that he writes more than meets the eye at the bottom and questions like, why would he come to me? There's a reason that he wouldn't go to major like ship manufacturers. The trade guilds are the most accessible source of information of this sort. And there was an appeal. There was a specific motivation to come to Axel over anybody else as a guy who doesn't necessarily work with any of this stuff. And he's like, why? Why would he have come to me? There's more than meets the eye here.
Okay.
And I think the secondary note is just this notion about experimental ships. He had questions about what potentially a Spelljammer helm could drive through space, whether or not you could use non-conventional objects or constructions.
Okay.
And to that end, like, I don't know if any of you guys, I know you all are looking for somebody to transport your Chrono Lily potentially. I'll circle back on that, but is there anything else like that you guys want to be doing or pushing?
I think Reg is one, he'll be like on the market for any spell scrolls if we have additional monies to spend on that. And then the other thing that he would like to do is spend a bunch of time doing two things. One is making a copy of his spell book as a backup, and then creating a very complicated puzzle box in which he stores it.
I love it. A puzzle box to get into the spell book itself, the book is contained within. You easily are able to make a second copy of the spell book. The puzzle box we'll talk about in a second. As far as spell scrolls, there are not like magic item shops here or anything like that, but Ivana basically gives you access to a series of spell books in the upper library that fundamentally, Troy, like they have access to all the spells from the player's handbook up through level 5. If there's like things that you specifically want to copy over, the stuff from the outside books a little bit more rare, we'll roll for it to see if there's like Tasha's and Xanathar stuff specific. But any like generic PHP spells you pretty much like you can get from the library. To that end, if you wish to write scrolls of your own, you also could try to do that, though it'll cost some time and money.
No.
Okay.
No, he's acquiring. I think he's like making a backup because this is like literally his life's work is in this spell book, right? And so this is the thing about a wizard. A wizard in D&D always has literally the most they've ever had in their entire life attached to their hip at that moment. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you come back to the palace each day being like, and then you just go back to the library? Is that what
The library's on the palace grounds, even. Yeah.
Mhm.
But every day you're going to the library?
Pretty much every day. Yeah.
I would
mean,
ask you to find Clancy books.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He would. I mean, Reginald would very much like take requests. He would like, and I will say, like, in a way that he would not have before going on the Dragonfly, like he would probably take a day off every once in a while and just like go on a side trip or like sit in a tavern or a shop with people and attempt to carouse. But yes, he would happily look for any Clancy books.
And if there was, Ray would like read them at night before bed. Like would like just read through them.
There's a series of tomes. Yeah, it's a very comprehensive library, so you're able to like access some old like stories of older Clancy clerics and yeah, like read up on some of this old doctrine from the ways of Clancy.
Doctrine.
Doc Twin.
Really, that's Lux.
Does anyone want to buy anything?
I have a diamond, right? We collectively have a diamond.
Resurrection diamond. I think you do.
If we can.
Yes, I was thinking the same, that it might be useful to have multiple diamonds.
Yeah, I think we have a 500 diamond. I was just looking at all our little. There's our loot list that has our monies on it.
Like, what do we want to do? I mean, I don't want to interrupt this too much, but like, do we have a thought on the ship?
I have so many thoughts about the ship. I have so many thoughts about the ship. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Well, then let's go ship shopping.
Well, okay. All right. Should I just go through my list? Let's go through my list of things. Okay.
Can I maybe ask the first one
Please.
or two you do in character as Lux, or we're all sitting around the table
to you at the meeting
talking
table?
about
Okay.
this, because I really want to hear how Lux pitches this to everybody.
Okay. All right. So the ship, right? There's a couple things that we need for sure, okay? We need to fix the ballista. Maybe upgrade? I don't know. We may want to get something fancy or more durable that it can't get ripped off the top as easy. More armor.
It wasn't very easy for that bat creature to tear.
Yeah, but harder. I want it to be harder than it was.
Harder?
Like more than just a 6-second thing to just rip that shouldn't be a thing. Okay. All right. Secondly, armor. We need Dragonfly armor. We need our baby to be a little bit more safe. I don't like how much it got hit. A stab with a bunch of things. Ropes connected to it. I don't like this.
I've got an idea. You did bring several of my brothers and sisters back from my ship. Can we disassemble them and attach them to the outside hull?
Just stick them on.
Doc very notably walked out of the last Novacraft with this clockwork bolter.
I mean, we're looking for a ballista upgrade. It seems pretty great. I don't know.
He carried out there.
Great. Perfect.
And so to that degree, the bolter can be mounted onto the ship in replacement of the ballista.
Okay.
Right?
Armor.
On that
My
note,
understanding of a bolter, which this is perhaps from another game, but is how much I've studied it, is that it bolts and it retracts is the idea, right? So do we want that separate than a ballista, or do we?
Yes,
and
we
is
want
that
that
what
separate.
it does, Rich? I guess.
Okay, what about this Arcano cannon? We got any of those laying around?
I would love an Arcano cannon, to be perfectly honest.
We'd all love an Arcana.
I would really love an Arcano cannon.
Wait, were those the cannons that we saw the two guys loading up before?
Yes. Harvin Dimitri.
Oh, then we can just steal one of those.
Oh,
Adam just goes like striding into the hangar.
Yeah, that's
with
great.
the Arcano cannon. He like shows up at the dinner table with the Arcano cannon. Like, this is what you wanted, right?
This is what
I
you
cannot
got.
emphasize this
Adam.
enough. I am not a barrister. I do not provide legal advice. However, possession is 9/10 of the law. So
the Arcano cannons can be mounted on the Dragonfly should you wish. You can certainly get at least one, which fundamentally allows the like higher level spellcasters to channel spells through it to increase like range and damage for the ship.
Yes.
Wow,
At-
that
hold
looks
on.
amazing.
For free, like, is Ivana giving us one, or we're gonna have to buy this?
No,
For
I think that Ivana, like, there's a
Feel
couple
it.
like grunts. There's no like real mechanics on staff here. Like Doc is the point person, and so I think there's a conversation between Ivana of like, can you use this? Can you mount it on
Yes.
your ship?
Obviously.
Of
That'll be fine.
course, that's
That,
was a
that
very
was a
stupid
conversation between Yvonne and Doc, and like, yes,
Yes.
question.
yes.
I am right there, like behind Doc. who's the
And so
professional
she's
of
just
this.
like, yes, you
End scene.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So
Come
yeah,
on,
she's
Doc.
just giving it to you.
Oh,
Right?
nice.
Okay. Yeah. So Arcano Cannon check.
Okay, I'm
Armor.
just gonna say yes. Obviously, it needs to be beefier, so that I can stop fixing it. But it's also still got to be pretty. Like
Absolutely.
the Dragonfly
Fast,
is
really
very like
fast.
sleek, fast design.
It's like best.
You know, she's got to be easily maneuverable. So like we can't just
Yes.
go like
Dexterity is
stapling.
overrated.
Can't just like staple metal to the outside
No.
of the ship.
It's gonna be. Can we add stuff to make her more aerodynamic, so I can cut corners easier or something like that? So,
So
it's
this was
hard to
I
hit 'cause I'm
was trying to
fast.
think. Yeah, I was thinking more so we can see about bumping up her level of defense, if you will, but I was thinking more like speed.
Rocket
like, how do we make her
propellers.
go
Down with
faster?
speed.
Like something about the words like warp drive keep
I say that and
like,
look right
going
to
around in my
Chwinga.
brain.
Say
Let's
rocket
go.
propellers.
Oh, yes. Actually, Dr. Lively and I sold a huge batch of experimental propulsive fuel to a planet one time. Has about a 2% chance of explosion, but outside of that, runs smoother than a...
That's such a small
I mean,
chance.
Hold on,
Never
let him.
tell me
Hold
the
on.
odds.
Hold on. Let him. Smoother than what? Let him finish.
a baby
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
bar of soap.
I love it.
Have you
I
ever
didn't
seen
even-
a baby before?
It was in a dream journal I've heard about a baby sliding on a bar of soap. My God, it was heavenly.
I was more surprised by the bar of soap, to be quite honest.
Well then, fair enough.
Oh,
I
by
mean,
the way, your
so-
head does look quite shiny.
Yeah.
That harb does wonders. It's a shame we're gonna have to steal his Arcano cannon.
So on the topic of soap, we need a working shower, and we really need to get that resolved because taking these like weird baths in like the kitchen are really not doing it.
Oh, and more dirt for Chwinga.
I think as you
Well,
say
a
that,
garden.
Chwinga's like, Chwinga.
I think I'm done. I think I'm done with. Bud was a very cute idea, but I think he's Chwinga in my heart. So it's Chwinga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, raised beds. We certainly need some raised beds. I think for the top, we could like maybe make a little thing around seed, like a little, like some raised beds around seed, and
dig
then then Bud could have plenty of places to play.
Raised beds. I like how even spaceship Captain Taylor needs raised beds. She's like, you know what we need on this a garden.
Yeah,
Bunk
trundling.
Well, I think also Lux
Lofted bed.
does like she's gonna find a pot and try and plant her seed from Rune that she spent 15 gold on.
I don't know I don't know if I know the spell raised bed. I think I get I have something similar. I think I could prepare
Yeah,
tomorrow.
use that and see how that goes.
Do I-
Raise the bed. Yes, that spell.
Raise the bed. Okay, great. So that gets rid of I feel like the like really essential stuff. But on to like just slightly less essential, but also really I need. I'm gonna go shopping for some cushions for the Spelljammer helm because that hurts when you sit in it for a long time. And secondly, how hard would it be to get like an intercom system?
Truly
Hook up some sending
impossible
stones.
and undoable. No, you cannot shout at us from all corners of the ship.
Oh yeah, that'd be
No, but I-
loud. Wait,
But what if I didn't have to yell so much anymore?
Well, then you'd be far less interesting as an individual.
Oh, okay.
I
Who
mean,
chuckled? Who
it would be
chuckled?
handy.
Who chuckled? Who said ha?
Oh,
Yeah. What?
you're all like looking.
Is it
Was
a
it
bow?
Naya? Was it the sword?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's totally the bow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Coward.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Some sort of like, I mean, like, Reggie, could this even be some sort of like sending type, you know?
Oh.
What
mean-
are we discussing?
I mean, we have the telepathic bond thing, but Reg, you got really mad at me when I did that the last time.
Well, I wasn't mad so much
No, you were
as
pretty upset. Yeah.
well, I've been known to get my knickers in a twist from time to time. Yes,
Portal Crown, you know, it's the good stuff.
yes. You're looking for a means of communicating throughout the ship. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to. I also want like a horn for the front of the ship.
Decorative.
No. Like,
Like
when
a-
we're in space to go like.
Adam
Look-
tilts his head back like a garbage can, and a large foghorn sound emits.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So
Lex,
scratch all
I
that,
need to explain to you how vacuums work
But like when we get near other
and
ships
sound
planets
sound
and stuff,
waves through space.
it's just about the feeling.
You want to be able to womp a horn that is functional but will have zero effect in space.
Yes.
Yes, I believe my therapist referred to it as a coping mechanism.
Okay. I'm gonna put
Self-soothing,
that
in a way.
way down on the to-do
Well,
list.
Adam, that was a beautiful sound that you just made. Why don't you just come sit with me when I do the Spelljammer sometimes? Oh, and if we had the intercom, I could say, Adam, come to the bridge. I need a horn. And then we'll be good to go.
Okay. Yeah. Do I need to do a horn?
I don't know what you just said.
Just
Yeah, you broke Adam.
I
Sorry,
want to see
Adam.
Adam's
moment.
head hinge back on.
Oh, good. I was worried. We just got him, too. You can't break him that fast.
Does that hurt when you do that?
Oh, absolutely not. Not a lot of things
great.
I do hurt at all. I have no nerves.
and I think that Professor like kind of opens up his spell book he has and like thumbs through it and goes to like one of the new pages and it's like where would you like this horn?
The front.
Here
Buy my Spelljammer. Buy the Spelljammer helm.
right. And I think we like flash forward to a scene where Reginald then ritually casts Magic Mouth near the Spelljammer horn and then points at Adam right at the moment when the sound needs to be made.
And then he'll hinge it back and
Oh, it feels so good. Yes. I love this. Okay, this is delightful. I'm so
Wow, I'm
happy.
glad we did the thing that's last on Doc's list first.
Yes.
Happy
Well, now it's not
birthday.
even on Doc's list at all. Okay. Then I think that was mostly it. Yeah, replace the ballista, go faster, intercom. Oh, Reya,
Yeah.
Doc, maybe Reg,
Yeah.
maybe Adam. Maybe you'll have ideas for this. Okay, Reya. I noticed that Bud just kind of wanders around. What if he had
Yeah.
like a little like floating thing, like a little egg that he could like stay in, like beside you, like basically like a little Grogu like carrier.
What's
thing.
What's a Grogu?
Not, I don't know what a Grogu is.
Yeah, just a
It
made up
sounds
word?
kind of cute though.
Just like a
Could you
made up.
feed me so I can grow rubies. The
No, we're not.
I
We
love
can't feed.
how you've
Yeah.
hit the point where you're just saying stuff you would like
Yeah.
to exist now. Like these are
Yeah.
not how are any of us supposed to build that? That is
I don't know. You're the
You're
smart
just-
ones.
you're just the ideas gal, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that as this conversation is happening and Doc's getting a little
I'm
indignant,
sorry.
I think we
just
just
an
see.
element of Melissa that just cuts through.
Yeah.
Right
I love
there.
it.
Yeah,
I think-
no character prepping.
It's fantastic. It's my favorite thing about Doc.
I did have this on the list though, just for
Oh, I have no
no
doubt.
on the list.
No,
How?
that had nothing to do with Taylor. That is every meeting that Melissa has ever been in. Every
Yeah,
team.
like, do we need this?
Yeah.
What are we doing right now? This could have been an email.
Just making
Yeah.
What are we
things
doing
up.
right now? What are we doing?
But I
Call
think
me up,
as
right?
you're like saying this, Doc, we just see this moment of like Chwinga like clinging on to like Waffles with his arms around his neck, like Chwinga, as Waffle comes like flying past Lux from behind. Like
That works.
I mean, they seem to.
Does
be
it look like?
having a
Yeah.
great
Does Waffle like it? Yeah. Okay. They're just.
time.
checking,
I
yeah.
think
Waffle's
Waffle
happy.
is playing like Big Brother. Like
Yeah.
he's not like thrilled, but he's like
yeah, like a
sort of-
dog that tolerates the child. You know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
riding
Oh
on
my
them. It's one of
God.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Now,
Okay.
tell me, when does the feral one eat the small dragon? I've been waiting for that to happen. It's been 4 months, and I have yet to see it.
Feral one.
It's a great question. If he does, I'll kick him out of the ship.
Yeah.
No,
that's
it's
totally
hard
fair.
for me to determine his age, but I think he's past his teething stage, so
Oh.
it should be all right.
Ben,
That's
do
pretty
you
good.
need anything from the ship?
Yeah.
No, there's
Oh.
nothing on the ship I don't think can help my problem.
Wait, what's your
Is there anything not on the ship that can help?
Well, we know what
What a-
Ben's problem is. We know
Yeah.
what Ben's problem is.
Yeah.
He's cripplingly depressed.
It's really just that I'm
Adam!
old. I've been very cheerful these past months, Adam. Actually,
Yeah.
my life was rather a dead end. I was a shopkeeper on a water world commanded by Sahagwin, and then these guys showed up and started a revolution. They
Hey.
gave some firearms to the local jeweler, and the next thing you know, they unseated the whole power structure. and
Should be
now-
very interesting to see who comes from Cerelia, Ben.
Yeah.
Could be some of your relatives.
Do you think Warbeam's gonna come?
If they put Warbeam in charge, I am not confident about the
What do you
security of that
mean? That would be
democracy.
amazing.
I
In
don't know.
moods of Cerelia.
In
I
charge of the army,
suppose we
maybe,
will
but
see.
in charge of the army,
Adam,
but not.
Warbeam is a mythical figure that aboard our ship that I've never met and could have been a complete apparition created through constant imbibing of my fellow compatriots here.
No.
Oh, we fought
So
in the bar with
you
him.
befriended a giant beam?
Yeah, we
This-
started a bar fight. with him.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
This sounds like
Yeah.
my new best friend. I must meet them.
His name is
Yeah.
Noctor Warbeam, but we just call him
Noctor
Warbeam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They decided
my-
it's called the War Beam for some
The
reason that
Warbeam.
I'm not entirely sure about, but nonetheless, it's stuck.
Yeah,
Pretty
sure
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been thinking of a thing to add to the ship that would sort of an upgrade to the icebox. Keep cold things cold.
Yeah.
So
What?
keep the
Wha-
cheese longer.
Oh, just
what
an
was
ice
your
box.
idea? Oh, just
Oh.
an icebox.
I think
A
like
bigger ice?
yeah, it's like a big ice box. But the ice doesn't melt. It just stays cold.
Oh, whoa. That's very
Ooh.
smart. How would you
Yeah.
do that?
She's well beyond my abilities.
I may know somebody who's coming who might be able to help with that, but we could try. We could try, certainly.
Oh, yes,
So
we should
manageable.
engage the diplomats to give things to our ship.
I could not agree more. Can we have a conversation about the diplomats? It's me, Ivana, if that's not clear.
Excuse me, we were having a private conversation amongst
Oh, I'm
friends.
sorry. Have I
You just-
interrupted? I
Oh,
apologize.
no, it's okay. We were finishing up talks about
Yeah.
the ship
No, we were done.
before I institute fun time and my other activities, but that's fine.
Well, there's
what?
two fun time.
We'll
Other
talk about it
activities?
later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
I like fun time. Nobody
Great, you can come if
concerned
you
with any
want.
fun-
Ivana, might I ask? It's an area of interest of mine, and we can certainly talk about the diplomats, but just by way of question, curiosity, what do you do for fun?
Oh, many things. I enjoy swimming, writing, reading, the dream books, the journals.
Swimming.
Well, yes, it's very refreshing. It's a strange thing when you have scales. I don't mean to conjecture about your epidermis, but it's sand and it gets everywhere, and the water, it's very cleansing. I'm deeply appreciative of it. You have a much hardier exterior. Swimming is rather low on the list. Particularly, I like to share with the dreams of people.
I don't
Yes,
mean to conjecture
it's-
about your epidermis.
for what it is worth,
Get that on a t-shirt.
we Giff-Q are blessed with quite thick skin in a literal sense, if not figurative. However, I do agree that sand is rather coarse and rough and also irritating.
Do you swim away from anything in particular?
Away from anything? Well, no, not generally.
So you just leisurely swim from one location and then turn around and go back to the location from whence you came?
Yes, it sounds rather fruitless now that you put it that way.
Ha!
Ah, but one must leave enough energy to get the swim back. Otherwise, you would be in a difficult situation.
How do you get the swim back?
Is that the fun part about it? Like, oh, I might make it back, or I might drown. Ooh.
Oh,
What
yes.
about, like,
not forget
water
the point. Is
guns
there
or water
danger that you'll
fights?
drown? Is that the fun?
Yes,
What else?
absolutely. That's part of the fun.
I've actually got
No.
enormous lungs. It would be very
Wait.
difficult to drown me. And
Okay, noted.
That's pretty
By
cool.
the way, I should have mentioned this before. I can leave if anyone would like.
no, please, you're
That-
wonderfully polite, and I enjoy your company. I actually think that I might need your help. Look,
Oh,
that
yeah. you are also the DM.
At
What's his
what?
left over
we,
there?
Rich, we look. We
We
look.
look in the direction that
Yep,
you want.
100%.
Roll for looking.
excuse me, as she points to the sky, you spot a ship coming down, approaching towards the harbor, as it were. I know I didn't follow up on your chrono, Lily, before. I think that the
That's
trouble
okay.
is, Lux, you found a couple of friends of your parents, people that you have some connections with, none of them that are traveling off world. There's no ships like destined to leave anytime soon. So you're biding your time for the fastest possible way to get this stuff back, Grace. I'm still like clocking this, but you
You got it.
see a ship coming in, and it is a small-ish kind of ship. It reminds you almost immediately of the Scrounger, the kind of small craft that you came across some months ago. And as it's dropping down in, I think Yvlana says, it seems they're arriving. A number of your friends and associates, I believe, are coming. Some from Cerelia, from Malpiedi Prime. There's individuals from everywhere, some from Varen Prime as well, but I have a bit of a concern.
Oh, that you're a dragon.
That is one. Some of them, most of
Yeah, a
them
lot
do
of
not
them.
know that, and I am slightly concerned about how they will react when they learn that. Yes.
Would
That's
you
fine.
like us to keep that discreet?
Perhaps I do not wish to ask you to lie to any of your friends or on my behalf, but about that, there is a greater concern.
Yeah.
Well, I'm nearly certain that some form of doppelgangers or the like will be present amidst the company, perhaps wearing faces of friends or companions of yours that you know. So please do keep a discerning eye for anyone that you think may be intruding.
Yeah. How do you know that that's happening?
I merely suspect it to be likely, as no offense, ladies, but they are frequent and often employed as spies and information gatherers and the like. And I imagine that both the trade organizations and potentially others out there whom you may have crossed in your times we should keep abreast of our plans. I do not have any explicit enemies here. I don't mean to make it sound like that, but what?
Yeah, we've actually come across the reason that we started asking people if they were dragons is because a dragon did impersonate our friend and killed her. You don't actually know ways to bring people back to you.
Well, yes. If quickly I can help, but
Oh.
after some time, there are some that I know. There's a man in the village named D. He can help.
Okay, thank you.
You, Lux, I can do.
Oh
Never-
no,
what-
Ginny, can
Yeah.
we bring back Ginny? Why didn't we do that?
Well, at the time, I could not do that.
Oh,
But
well, that makes
I am
sense.
so much stronger than when we fought the dragon. Fighting a dragon makes you. I apologize, Ivana, but it does make you incredibly strong.
No, it's quite all right. I fought a number of dragons. My brother
I would assume. Your brother?
Yes, that's
Wait, tell us more about that.
Brother?
my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I suppose it is connected to the other issue. Are you all right? Is he
Nope.
malfunctioning?
Yes, I'm sorry. The concept of a brother was something that sent my programming into a tizzy for once. I've been too many foghorns over the past 12 hours. Please
Really
go on.
sorry about that.
Just a moment. Let me attempt to repair him briefly. And I think Reginald will cast a spell and gesture over Adam. And that spell has nothing to do with Adam. And he would like to cast Locate Creature.
Oh, baby.
Ooh.
And he would like to locate Yavanna and make sure that this is Yavanna.
Yeah, Yavanna is sitting across from the breakfast table at you. This is Yavanna.
Great.
Well played.
All good.
Here we go. Okay.
She's just kind of like sighs a little bit, like reaching for this cup of like tea that she sips, placing it down like, my brother. Right. My brother and I had a severe differing of perspectives, and when he left this world, some of what you have learned in your time, the sphere, it being closed to planar travel, some of the planes are accessible. I think that you've been through some. The shadow plane, obviously. She gestures kind of awkwardly towards Reya. The Feywild is a place that I do not know if you've ever been before, but suffice to say, the coterminous planes, the planes that overlap with our prime material, they are accessible. The ethereal, the astral, the realm of the fairy, the realm of shadows. These places are right here. There are others further, worlds distant, harder to reach. I think that I have learned from your exploits, from what you've shared with me, that there are still passageways, mouse holes and the like that lead from this world to those. But that's not the point. I'm getting away from it. My brother left here 900 years ago, seeking means to find these other worlds. He did not. He was trapped in the realm of shadows. He has subsequently been transformed to a shadow dragon. I understand that you fought one in your time on Lun, in its own lair, no less.
What's your brother's name?
I do not think I can say.
Well,
we are amongst friends here.
No, please, I would tell you if I could. There could be strength and a safety for you, but the magic of our kin is strange and binding in ways that I literally cannot say.
well, see, we were like fighting them at one and do.
Can I cast a spell magic at 5th level specifically for that thing? I'll just try it.
Yes. You cast a spell magic at 5th level?
Yeah, to see if and I'm just trying to remove that, whatever that thing might be.
Wow.
Holy schmoly.
Roll a 20-sided die, Grace.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Meanwhile, Reg is like,
Okay.
Oh, and that one.
oh,
This could be good. This could be good.
Could be
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
Oh my gosh.
It's a 5th level
Shnikes.
spell right there.
Ooh, baby.
I think that Ivana's eyes go wide and she's like,
good. I think we lost your mic, Rich.
oh,
Are you super soft right now?
how about now? Back? Yay? No?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, that's better. No, yep, you're
Okay,
good.
cool. I think that Yavanna, you see her mouth open and she tries to, similarly to me, to like get the word out. She's like, and like kind of nothing releases. She kind of gasps, her body like shudders for a minute and like looking to Reya like, no, this is old binding. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I am doing. I came here to find a place, a quiet place to grow, to age, to linger, to find my old age without the curse of his actions looming over me, without the fear of his retribution and dread. And over time, people have collected and gathered and dreamed, and I did what I could to ensure that they would have home and find something here, but I have no idea what I am doing. I thought to send you out into the worlds, to many worlds on the ship, to see that unseen, to dream dreams that I could not imagine from this place. I could have gone myself, but I do not. I cannot even fathom the isolation of journey like that alone.
I don't mean to stop you. You're a really powerful, beautiful dragon person. Was your brother's name Emraxis? Okay, great. Just wanted to clear that up.
Well,
Good, great.
Certainly.
Just wanted to ask that. So you can't tell us. Do you have like a dragon name? And you can't tell us that. You can't tell us it. Oh, jeez, that's a bummer. Okay.
We bound each other in a spell of geese when he left.
Mm.
I've been told that you can choose whichever name you wish.
That's true.
Probably why she chose Giovanna.
Exactly how I ended up here.
Well,
listen, all of these people are coming, and I have no idea what they want from me or what I am to do. I have played perhaps an unfair game with you all, speaking of high principle and of some great noble cause that binds you all to adventure across the stars. But in truth, you inspire others, you inspire me, you take a journey I cannot take on my own. I live vicariously through your dreams. I have no idea how to organize these people or what they want or what the right order of business should be from here, and I have severely misrepresented myself, so I felt that I should come clean.
Oh my god, a dragon with imposter syndrome? What a hilarious.
Amazing.
I love it. I love
listen,
it.
listen, Giovanna,
so relatable.
you don't even need to worry. I want you to understand something. When you first sent us out, we had no idea what the heck we were doing. We were like, what are we doing out here? What are we doing?
We didn't even ask for wages. It's
we
so
didn't.
silly.
But
you did not ask.
Wait, what?
Anyway,
Hmm?
we the wages are friendship, you guys. So listen, Giovanna.
Yeah.
What I will say is that amidst of all our journeys of not knowing what we're doing, we kind of bumbled our way to some kind of purpose. So if is that true, everybody?
Yeah.
Adam,
No oppression.
welcome to the purpose.
Adam, I realize I have revealed a
Name of the
great deal to
episode.
you very quickly here, but I hope
It's
that
great.
you feel at
Oh,
home.
it's fine. In fact, I feel sympathetic in that we both don't know what we're doing. In fact, I felt more connected to you more than ever.
Great. Okay. So the
Wait,
first thing
wait,
I'll say. Oh, go ahead, Reg.
Well, no, I just was simply going to say, amidst the, yes, amidst all of that, there was an assertion that you have invited people here with no plan for what they are to do or why they are here.
Wait, did you invite? Wait, you invited?
It all
he
just
didn't
got a
invite
bit
people
carried
here.
away. Redalia was speaking to people
Redalia.
about your impact and the notion of a new guild, a confederation that we could rise something up in opposition to the mercantile classes and the ongoing onslaught of capitalism across the planets. And next thing I knew, they were all coming here, and I am not entirely sure what type of leadership to offer them. It's much easier with the people in the village. I infect their dreams with joy, and everybody is happy, and it's a
infected
very
them.
hospitable place for us all to
Infected is
live.
quite
Have you
correct.
not noticed how well you've been sleeping over these past months?
That's
Except
true.
for you. We need to figure out a way to get him some sleep. I think she says she pointing at him. He does not sleep.
Oh, no, I found a very nice closet that I just lean myself up against for 6 hours at a time.
Oh.
5 stars.
Out of
Yeah, there are billions of stars in the universe.
There's so many stars out
It's actually
there.
quite a low rating.
Well, I suppose so, but I guess my other accommodations were 2 to 3 stars, so this is by far the best one I've had, even though it's only about 5 billionths of a scale.
So, listen, I know that things are really scary, okay? There's a lot of people coming, it's intimidating, but this is the perfect opportunity to get everybody on the same page. That's why you bring people together to unite everybody, okay? The tides of darkness or whatever, they're like, there's things happening with them. They're doing stuff, okay? And we released the what was the thing that we did? Reya, you like set something free that defeated.
It doesn't matter. We're not all tracking on the idiosyncrasies of our past.
Well, okay.
Didn't we let a celestial free? And we also
yes.
sent an angel. We sent a little boy back.
You sent Alice back home. Yep, and you freed an angel that was petrified and gave you his Beetlejuice name. Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
this is a great idea. The bad guys always hold secret meetings, and they're always. I've seen this. They always hold secret meetings, and they get on the same page. And the good guys, they don't.
We gotta get on the same page.
Yeah.
We gotta get on the same page. We're the good guys. We got to bring back the glittering synod, right? That's the whole thing.
Glittering cyanide? Okay.
No. Shorten it a little bit, and it's with a Y. Synod.
That's
Synod.
what Redalia and I have discussed, and it seems to be a good order of business, but I'm just not entirely sure how to organize that or what our goals should be, save what? Just fighting oppression? That seems to have worked well for you all. Is that good enough? Is that a clear mission statement?
We have to inspire people to go out and explore the space like we do.
I mean, some sort of like charter of rights and freedoms. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the last time that the Giff-Q attempted to write something like that, it took us at least 3.5 decades. But we were successful.
What was that? What was that span of years that you just said, Reggie? What was that? Length of time?
3.5 decades.
Decades.
What? Is this not a word that is...
Hey, please do not insult my papa. He's talking about his decades.
I reached out to Cassandra to have a delegation sent on your behalf, Professor. I believe... Well, I didn't. I keep saying that I did it because I'm supposed to be... There's layers here.
Some sort of connective spirit between you and Redalia.
Redalia sent word to me that they were unable to. I believe, in fact, it was your mother. She said that there has been a recent occupation. There was a recent archaeological discovery in the swamps out there, and there has been some type of shift in the power dynamic. Nobody is in danger, I don't believe, but...
What? What sort of madness is this that you are speaking of?
Archimedes!
Redalia was not clear on the details. She should be here any moment. To that, I actually was going to ask your help on a related matter, something I've been working on. Nonetheless, she told me that the Cassandra delegation was unable to depart in time to arrive here for the meeting because there has been a archaeological discovery which has led to the Aarakocra to hire a mercenary guild on their behalf. And there's some manner of conflict in the political workings there.
What mercenary group they hired?
I don't. We'll have to ask her when she arrives.
What have you done with Yavanna? This is simply mad.
It's very easy for me to emerge in your dreams and stand with confidence, as it is a very comfortable place for me there. I don't mean to sound so inept. My aspirations were smaller things, smaller joys. I just wanted to help people.
Listen, I know that this is all a lot, okay? And I know that I can just blabber on and be annoying, but you need to have confidence in yourself, number one, Yavanna. You're a powerful dragon and you help a lot of people. And just because you're not confident in everything all the time doesn't mean that you need to not be confident in this. You've been doing a great job so far. Keep it up. Fake it till you make it, okay? And secondly, we're here to help you. We're your friends. You're just a dragon person.
Just a dragon.
It's fine. We're just people. You're a people too, even if you're a big people with wings and stuff. But like, we get it. I mean, I think we get it. But just, you know, we're here to help. We're gonna figure this out, okay?
Okay, help. Yes.
Yeah.
Together we'll be able to figure this out. You all have seen much of the world. But first things first, we should go to the throne room, and perhaps you can help me open this door that I have been constructing.
A door?
Oh, okay. Open a door.
Yeah, that's
Some tough stuff.
Yeah, that's tough. But we could try. We could definitely try.
Yeah, always try.
Okay. I appreciate you all a great deal. Come. Let's go. And I think that she starts like leading you back into the palace as you're all following. I think that it is at this point that let's have everybody roll perception checks real quickly.
I thought you were going to say initiative.
Yeah, suddenly she turns into a dragon and attacks you all. Okay.
Also, I do just want to say quickly that Lux has forced everybody over these past few months, forced everyone for fun time, which is like going out to taverns, walking around the town, and especially Reggie, just for the record.
Thank you. Reg is gonna roll perception at disadvantage for reasons. That's a 5.
One distracted Reggie. A 5 is not sufficient as hold on a second here. 22, 20. Doc, you and Reya, I think, spot a familiar garbed cleric standing like down by the water, kind of speaking, and you note Ben talking with them as the Sita Kier apparently not like so easily like put off Reya, as you see Ben like chatting with her while you're kind of following Yavanna into the palace itself.
I cast sending to Ben. Hey, Reya here. Please stop talking to that Dasher clip. They are a dangerous bunch. Come over here right now. Please don't mean to be aggressive.
Don't mean to be aggressive. And I think that you just hear the sending back like, wow, that gets me every time. And you see Ben like turn, and he kind of like waves to the woman and starts like striding over to join you guys.
Yeah.
Such that I think he comes walking up and he's like, I'll be honest with you guys, I know that you really don't like that lady, but by her word, she's just here because she wants to participate in the council. She says that the Dasher Clips are the largest growing religion across the known sphere, and they have a right to have a voice in whatever forthcoming meeting we're having here.
Well, wait, why?
Did
This
you
isn't
see
about
the fact that
religion.
it could be about religion. So you'd be in the fastest growing. If you had one member and you got 5 members, that's like a 400% increase. So of course you'd be the fastest growing, but doesn't mean there's just 5 people. You know, not that 5 people can't be. Listen, Dasher Clips are the bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far was this lady away from us, by the way? She was right down.
100 feet.
Primeval awareness.
Oh.
Oh, what do you sense?
Boop.
I know, I tell you what you sense.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elemental, fae.
I
fiends,
thought you were telling us what she was. Aberration. I was gonna be like,
All of them.
My
Every
God.
single one on the
She's
Most
one of those
evil one
classic
you've ever met.
aberration, celestial, dragon, elemental, fae, fiend, undead.
Okay,
I once had one where they did that, and I went, elementals are the only ones you don't sense.
Oh,
Wow,
So
checks
I
all the
was-
boxes.
I was gonna say, Taylor, Lux senses within how many miles? Up to 6 miles?
1 mile.
Oh,
if,
yeah,
well, if,
1
if
mile?
they're I'm not in space. Well,
You sense aberrations. You sense dragons. You sense elementals. You sense fae. You do not sense fiends. No, I'm not. Yeah, no fiends, no undead, no celestials. But you sense all the other things.
So
Okay,
we do
well,
know
so
that
the
elemental.
elemental-
Yeah.
okay. Wait,
Yeah,
can you-
we're-
Elemental
yeah.
Shinga, right?
Oh,
elementals, dragons,
And the dragon.
aberrations.
It's aberration.
So
And that's it,
aberration
right?
or
One of us
fae?
be considered an aberration?
Fae?
No, you do
Oh,
sense
it's-
aberrations and fae both. None of you are aberrations. Yeah, none of
Great.
you technically considered aberrations.
Oh, I'm
The
gonna
doppel-
sleep happy tonight now. I've not been
You
called.
should.
I'm called an aberration.
Doppelgangers are technically aberrations, which is a thought.
Oh.
Can I sense any? I know that that's not a thing of this spell. I don't think like the direction that any of these are coming from.
Roll an insight check, Lux.
Oh boy. 19.
Flash of genius. 24.
Yes, 1,000,000%, Lux. I think that as you're like peering back down into the town, I think that you sense, actually,
Oh.
you see a small group of gnomes are like chatting over near one of the Arcano cannons. And I think that you see a small gnome with this long kind of silvery beard and this like swooping tuft of hair and this kind of like silvery outfit on amidst these other gnomes. And I think as your eyes lock in on this group of gnomes, like, yeah, there's doppelgangers amongst them, at least one, if not more.
Ooh.
Lux like narrows her eyes and like just like clocks them as they go, not like try not to be like super obvious.
Okay. And so Yavanna leads you into the palace, like leading through this like wandering kind of corridor into what is ultimately like this kind of great almost ballroom that she brings you down into. All of this kind of greenery, these huge chandeliers above the ground. And she leads you like striding around the kind of balconies on the edges, coming to like this big double central door on the far side of the room. As soon as you walk up to it, Professor and Doc, I think the pair of you would immediately recognize all of these arcane kind of runes bound and woven onto the door itself. And the whole like door frame appears to be gilded in this like metal filigree that I think you, Adam, would like recognize like similar runes to the type of rune structures that you have carved into your plating.
Gosh, they all look real fancy.
Yes, well, the ways of travel across the stars are varied. You all have found much in the form of portals and the intergrade transfer, this myriad asteroid. Well, it got us to thinking. There are ways to travel through the other planes. I believe you know something of this more these days, as she glances to Reya and the orb of like ask floating over her shoulder, and she says, to that end, Redalia and I have worked from both sides of this passageway.
Oh.
Will you all assist me? I have not yet opened the way, but I suppose now is as good a time as any.
No,
Can
yeah.
I do
Yeah.
a thing like super, super quick? Just because I really love it.
Okay.
Portals. Is that a portal?
Hmm.
Yes. What do you sense about portals? Just if it is a portal?
Yeah.
Just if there's portals within like a certain distance.
I was gonna say it's like any portal within a distance, though, right? So
Yeah, it's any planar portal within 1 mile of me.
Oh, yeah. This is a planar portal.
Oh, nice.
It's not open yet, but it is a
I
planar
think about how
portal.
stupid it is that D&D happens in miles and feet.
It's kind of hilarious, isn't it? Yeah.
Damn you, Gary Gygax.
Yeah, just watch her eyes like glow for a second as she senses it and like, yep, portal.
Hi, Jess Sterling. Welcome to the late season 3 premiere party. We're glad to have you.
Yes.
As you realize this doorway is a portal, I think she turns looking to you, Professor Reya, Doc, and says, whatever arcane power you have, we have not activated it yet, but if you would join me, I'm going to feed energy into it. The way should open for us.
When you think about it, aren't all doors portals?
Well, Helen, when you use the word feed, that certainly does give one a bit of consternation. One moment, and I think he will like take out his decoder wheel and spin it really quickly, and it will glow, and he will cast Detect Magic in an attempt to check for any traps and magical things that seem bad.
You catch like magic weaving off the door of a transmutation school. As you peer around the room, you note that there is like illusion magic woven into the chandeliers above you to an extent, which you've seen the like in similar places for kind of lighting and such. But the door itself is bound primarily with like conjuration and transmutation magic. It doesn't give you an indication of being trapped per se.
Okay. Then I think Reg would like turn to the others and say, "Wow, do we just feed the door?"
I think Ivana stretches her hands to take hands with those of you who will join her, and I think that she's like, just that. Just focus what arcane energy you are capable of sacrificing for today into it, and we will see if it is enough to open.
Oh, goody. And Adam will press the rune on his chest, and you hear an old voice come from the trash can lid saying, engage, surprise, temporal offers, reactive maneuvers programming. And you'll see a blue glow pop up in his eyes as he will use his storm rune to give himself advantage on Arcana checks.
Oh, heck yeah. Awesome. Yeah, okay, cool. What about the rest of you guys? Anybody doing anything?
No, offering up. I'll join in.
Okay,
Offer up what I have.
Those of you who are like willing to burn a spell slot, burn a spell slot. Whatever level. Tell me what level you're willing to burn.
4th level.
Wow.
Oh, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Reg would start with like a nice solid 2nd level, not knowing any better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think same from Doc. 2nd level.
Doc dropping a 2nd. That's 2, 4, 8, 9. You burned a rune. I think as all of you begin like surging this magic through, you feel Yavanna almost like drawing it up as then it like emits out into the door. The runes all begin to flare around the edges. Light begins glowing. I think the whole kind of coloration of the room shifts around you until like suddenly this like this column of this kind of radiant light begins emitting and emerging and kind of sparking and twisting up in front of you, and the whole sort of wall like melting away before you as you see what appears almost to be like this bridge extending out into like this twisting kind of myriad of stars in front of you as Yavanna like exhales a deep breath and says, the coterminous plains, the realm of fairy, extends into the sea of stars, but the way is strange, mysterious, and one easily lost. We have created beacons similar to what you did on the ship, Doc, with your shadow beacon for Naya to find. I will send word. Let us see if the kingdom of snapdragons can make their way here now. And as she like closes her mind and begins casting a spell, there's just like a moment of kind of like quiet here. I don't know if any of you guys want to do anything notable.
I do just think, well, while they're doing the ritual, I do think that Lux kind of like quiets down and steps back. Probably for the first time in a while, just like being quiet and trying not to, feeling the things, feeling some things, and we'll just like step away.
Excellent. And I think that with that, like after a few moments pass, like Ivana says, they come. And I think that you see these figures begin kind of like moving suddenly, like appearing out of the kind of like star swirl of fog, striding down the length of this bridge towards you. And you immediately recognize one, especially you, Lux and Reggie, having like sat with her for the night as Redalia, one of the bards of the Blossoms, the lore bard, as it were, from the Kingdom of Snapdragons. And at her side is this other elvish woman. And the pair of them kind of come striding forward, like stepping right up. And I think that Redalia like throws her arms around Yavanna as the second woman in the back like kind of stands looking over all of you. She wears like a fine kind of plate mail armor over what is like these very kind of fine clothes. And Redalia is just like, it is good to see you all again, Dragonfly. I am pleased you all have made it home before me, and I am glad that you could help my friend open the way. It is quite a long journey back to the Kingdom of Snapdragons. I give you the Lady Althea Idris. She comes as a representative of that place.
Whoa.
And I think this elvish woman bows like, well met. This certainly not how I expected to arrive, but Redalia said this is a strange place.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
We are the crew of the Dragonfly. Pleasure.
Oh, I know, Professor. You saved my world fighting dragons above the city. The Kingdom of Snapdragons are... We are quiet folk, but we know of your exploits. The song of your deeds rings loudly in the nights in Copperport and beyond.
There's a lot of people talking about us right now.
Yes,
They're
there are.
all coming here, I think.
Do they sing of Ben?
Of old Ben the Wizard? Of course they do.
Yeah.
And I think it's
to know that.
I think it's at this point that a lot of you like hear a voice kind of booming through the room from behind you, like, by the twin moons of Cerelia, I do not believe it. And you turn around, hopes raising, expectations soaring, and it is not Nocturne Warbeam, but rather Brazzoli Chaos Brewer. On the far side of the room, this mad-looking dwarf Adam with a mohawk rising up on his head, this big, huge handle of an axe, jacked up tattoos around him, and I think you just hear from behind, like, can I put this down here now, sir? As like he steps out of the way, and you see stepping in from around him a dear friend from your time on the Dwarven Fortress of the Gauntlet, as Esvan Rockbelly, the put-upon assistant, is standing holding this crate. His muscles are quivering as it is all he can do to hold it, and you hear the glass bottles of Chaos Brew jingling and clanking on one another as he's like, please, sir, I'm very tired. Can I put this down now? And he's like, don't break the bottles, boy. As Esfam like leans down, dropping this kind of crate to the ground in front of him. And Brazzoli Chaos Brewer just calls out, I'm guessing we come to the right places. This is a ballroom with a goddamned wall of stars on the other side of it. I didn't expect anything this crazy.
Well, you
At
should
the
have.
party, Brazzoli.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you got more of that back on the ship.
And I think that he like stops, eyes connecting with you for a moment, Reginald, across the room as he's like lifting up the flask, like, I I think I brought enough.
I looked at it. Do you drink, Adam?
I still am not sure. It's been several months.
And I think that is where we will leave our adventurers tonight.
Wow. This is fun.
Oh man.
Hey, Dragonfly,
yeah.
this is your life.
Yeah, meandering, sprawling start. I hope that was fun, you guys.
We burned some good spells tonight. One on trying to dispel the magic of the name, which didn't work. Reg tried to see if that was Ivana, and it turned out that was Ivana.
It was Ivana.
Amazing.
I have no regrets.
Yeah, detected
I
if
know,
there was
me
any
either.
weirdness in the room, and there were several weird things happening in
things
the
in the
room.
room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of weird
turns out-
things. Yeah.
Can I do a quick thing?
Yeah.
Can I do a quick thing?
Yeah,
I just
this
you
was
know,
a weird session. Just for everybody
Yeah.
listening, thank you, Geisha, for saying this was a great session. I appreciate it. It's nice to see you here. Yeah, we talked about a time jump and a kind of meandering start. We wanted to like give people room to follow up and to dig in with one another and all that. So I hope that this felt cohesive and not too, like bumbling and all over the place for you all. But there will be follow up from what we did here tonight, the upgrades on the ship, etc. What was the one thing you wanted to do here, Taylor?
yeah. So thank you guys for dealing with all my Lux craziness.
I love it.
But Lux, I think, just over these months, I think when we're kind of doing our thing, I do think that Lux kind of parallel to sort of Doc. I imagine that her parents have not like a huge house, but maybe like an apartment at the docks or something where they like come and stay if the ship is being repaired or something like that. Because I imagine their like main residence is on the Peregrine. So I think that, I just think that Lux goes back home, finds the key in the hidey hole or under the potted plant that's like probably dead and dying, and like heads into the little apartment and just kind of checks in on everything. And I think she leaves a little note. I think she just like quickly like scrawls, kind of not really feeling like she can stay for very long, but I think she just writes Mom and Dad, if you see this, I'm here for a few months. I'm up at Ivana's place. I really miss you. I really don't know what I'm doing. Things are scary. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
Aw.
Lux. And then she like leaves and she doesn't want to be alone for too long, so she just like heads back to Ivana's place.
Post episode stinger.
Can I ask like one more follow up thing on that?
Yeah, please.
Taylor? Which is like, would Lux have mentioned, or Doc, but in particular Lux, to like Reg or anyone else that like you all have a pad, like a place near, like in or around Harbor Town here?
Lux would probably pretty easily be like, this is where, her and Doc are from, and that like, yeah.
I'm just imagining like in the required fun times that like there's probably at least one night where like enough has been drunk and had that it's like we don't want to walk all the way back up to Ivana's place, so we just crash at that pad.
Yeah.
And that like maybe that happens again, and then like maybe that happens a little bit more again, and that like there's like a little bit of like the condo kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Is that place like populated? Are there like things in it, or is it just like desiccated childhood home?
I imagine that it's like it's not huge. Like imagine it's like a little apartment like above like maybe one of these old like places on the dock. I think it's like right on the dock.
On
So,
dock,
like,
you can't build it on dock.
Docks on docks on docks.
Docks on docks. I just imagine it's a little place that's like not bad. It's probably pretty dusty because I imagine her parents haven't been there for a while. I do think that like the first night, probably when everybody's we're drinking and like heading back there, like I think that Lux is like there's a few times where Lux is like really quiet and like to just seems a little bit sad, but always kind of bounces back.
Got it. But it's
We knew
more
Taylor
like
couldn't have
the
a happy character for long.
Airbnb that hasn't been rented out for a minute rather than like the abandoned childhood home.
Right. That's what I was
Yes.
thinking. Was like, is it just
Yeah.
like hiding out in your childhood home that nobody lives in, and so you're just sleeping in a pile
No.
of rags in the corner?
No, I
Yeah.
imagine it's like kind of kept up a little bit.
Reya would look for like if there's like a picture of Lux's parents to maybe see if a sending spell will work in the future.
Fantastic.
Great.
Cool. Cool. This
Thank
was
you.
fun, you guys. This was a fun start. We went all over the place. We got to things that I expected, things that I didn't expect. Yeah, I hope that all like tracked, and I think it leaves us in an interesting spot to pick back up next week. Yeah, cool. Anything else? Final thoughts? Anything I missed? You want to know?
No, this is exciting. I mean, I'd imagine it's looking to be a bit of like a reunion with several characters that y'all have come into contact with. So it's like a fun little way to engage these characters in a completely different way, as we also try to talk a dragon lady out of her like inherent anxiety.
That's
like,
so funny.
Maybe quarter life
Great.
of Immortal Crisis.
I love it so much.
I realized like
Syndrome is so good.
the further that we got into like season 2, where I was like, oh gosh, like this all needs to come to a head pretty soon.
Why'd you send us?
Yeah.
I love it.
And our general like effing with the universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole like you're effing with the universe has now created repercussions where she's like, oh my god, I did not anticipate having to deal with all these serious things. Like now people are really looking to me for leadership. Like, anyway, cool. Well,
This is fun. Thank you.
This is very fun. Yeah,
we will
Happy
be
season
back
3.
to do it again. I hope that it feels like an okay start for you, Mike, to like connect with some of these NPCs and stuff.
Oh, I mean, it's a lot, but I think I'm trying to make my way like A.D.A.M does, with just a smile on my face and not a clue as to what's happening, and just hope I make my way through.
Yeah, I think that's perfect, actually.
Yeah.
Just know that half of the NPCs are on the ship with us somehow.
So you're in good shape.
Okay, that helps.
Or will be. Yeah.
Yeah. And half of us are like frantically referring to Taylor's notes to be like, right, who is this guy? What's happening? That we met like 9 months ago? Like
I'm referring to Taylor's notes. Yeah, Taylor's notes have like organizationally outclassed my own. I certainly have the stuff written down, but finding it, that's the real challenge.
There is the searchable thread that's probably helpful.
It's
Yeah.
really helpful. So yeah, we'll
I
regroup.
googled synod, glittering synod while we were playing, just to be like,
Wow.
I know that's something. It's in there. Council of Dragons. Yeah.
I had to spell check myself for the name of an NPC through Taylor's notes yesterday, where I was like, I don't remember how anyway.
Spelled Fazoli's, F-A-Z. No, I'm playing.
We love Brizzoli. It's time for the Brizzoli. Yeah. So we'll be back next week, hanging out, playing D&D, doing it again. Some more hijinks coming here in the month of January. I think we're gonna have a few other games kicking around, but stay tuned to my Twitter at DMPhilly. I'll give you guys the heads up. This VODs for this will go over to YouTube. Troy, what do you got going on between now and next week?
Between now and next week, I might be recording a podcast with Josh Wigler on post-show recaps, continuing our coverage of Tulsa King, wherein Sylvester Stallone plays a mob boss in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I think that's going to be it. And yeah, enjoy the break from terrible snow and ice that we're getting mostly here.
Awesome. I had a lot of fun talking to you and Josh Wigler about Sylvester Stallone as a mobster in Tulsa. Like, it's disproportionately ridiculous like fun that show was. Anyway, it was a real treat. I hope that you guys do go back to do it again soon.
Yeah, we might pick up 1923 again too. I don't know, TBD.
Yeah, we shall see. 1923, not related to 1899, which I see Sandy Pants in the chat saying that they just watched all of Dark to get ready for the pod. Rough news for 1899 these days. But yeah, Grace, what else are you doing before we're doing that?
Also have post recaps theater. We cover movies each week. We'll be covering The Whale this week. So it should be fun. Roll call over on Robin's Podcast on YouTube and Twitch. Typically around the last Tuesday of each month, we play a different board game over there. Also have Kaleidoscope coming up. We're gonna binge all of it. A few of us, including somebody else on this pod, one Taylor. We're all gonna watch in different orders and check it out. I feel like I have something else, but Dark. We're gonna do the Dark rewatch as people are chatting, and that's it. Full spoilers for all 3 seasons of Dark. Very exciting. And yeah, I'm on Twitter at Hi from Grace.
Cool. Melissa, how about you?
Yeah, Rich and I recorded the last episode of the His Dark Materials podcast today, so that'll be dropping over on post show recaps and otherwise podcasting about Doctor Who with Kevin and Adam H. We're on hiatus for this week while Kevin's still on vacation, but next week we'll be coming back with the episode Gridlock from Series 3. We're pretty early into Series 3, so it's a pretty good time to jump in if you've never done the Doctor Who thing.
Is that the one with like
And-
the traffic jam with the floating cars?
I have not watched it yet, so
Okay,
probably. It sounds
maybe.
it sounds right.
That's like the one very distinct season 3 memory I have of Doctor Who besides Blink. So that's the only other one I can think of.
Yeah,
Dating
so we've hit the
back,
point
isn't it?
in the rewatch where, because I started with Matt Smith, jumped back to Eccleston, and then started to make my way through Tennant, but didn't finish Tennant, that I'm like watching new Doctor Who for the first time, other
Oh,
than Blink this season and one episode, I think it's next season, that I've seen. So yeah, I'm watching some Who for the first time right now.
Cool. Nice. That is exciting. Taylor, how about you?
Yeah, I think tomorrow, Wednesday, is gonna be the penultimate episode of Willow, which Rich, you and I are talking about. So excited, loving that show. Cannot recommend it enough. If you love this group of goofy weirdos, you will love that group of goofy weirdos. Please go watch the show. It's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm here. This is where I am. Rania422 on Twitter and Rania422_ on Instagram, because I don't know what is happening with Twitter these days.
Taylor, Jess in the chat saying you will not stop recommending Willow. That's
been
because
telling
we know
everybody.
it's so your jam, Jess. It's such a ridiculously fun time. Like in terms of just a real panacea of like fantasy after this year of everything else we got. Yeah. Anyway, Mike, how about yourself? We're gonna be talking about fantasy soon enough, but you're always busy out there. What do you have going on?
to say it was either good or bad for you to say the longest one for last, just so people could be like, okay, we're done.
Hey,
we're cutting out. Bye.
Grace has been the longest one for ages, so now it's your
Yeah,
turn.
you're
That's,
good.
that's the reason why I
you know
was
what?
brought on.
I forgot one of my plugs, which is actually also one of your plugs, just so
So
you're.
you're in
It was
good
really
shape.
nice, so I could just take that ball. Yeah, so in about 5 hours from now, the official kickoff to post-show recaps coverage of The Last of Us will drop. It's going to be myself, Grace, and Taryn Armstrong. We're just but a few of what might look to be at some points like 4 to 5 weekly podcasts about The Last of Us, a really highly anticipated HBO post-apocalyptic series, which is an adaptation of the hit 2013 video game of the same name. Grace, Taryn, and I just give an overview of what the show is about, possible expectations, then outline this kooky schedule filled with a lot of really fun things. And Grace and I are going to once again be on the recap, first boots on the ground, once The Last of Us premieres on January 15th. So whether you're like completely in the know about all things Last of Us, or if you don't know a firefly from a clicker, feel free to check it out. We try to clue you in as much as possible without completely spoiling you as to what exactly The Last of Us is. And I am so freaking pumped for this show. So that's coming January 15th. Another project we're embarking on post-show recaps is that Josh and I are, I would say we're doing like Down the Hatch 3.5, I think at this point, is we are taking a 2-week sojourn into covering the mini-series prologue of Battlestar Galactica. We are sort of testing the waters in a manner of speaking. We're still doing Heroes, but we're like, what should we do after that? BSG, it's a rare territory in that Josh has seen it all back to front. I've seen maybe like 7 episodes, and I don't remember
so
much.
Hype, Mike. I am so hype. I've been waiting years for this one, man. I'm very excited.
Yeah, so we're gonna test it out. We're gonna watch, because you know the mini series that precedes it is 2 essentially like hour-and-a-half long mini movies essentially. So we'll be covering that this week and next week. One more series that starts this week on the reality side of things is Tough as Nails, which I think actually some people could sympathize with on this panel, considering how hard some of y'all work outdoors. Shows, the hardworking Americans out there, run by Amazing Race connoisseur Phil Kogan, myself, Jessica Lees, Rob Cesarino. We're spending our time in the reality TV off season covering that. So lots of exciting things. And yeah, that's what I'm doing in this week. And next week, surprisingly, there'll be more announcements to come. But for now, that's what I've got at a Mike Bloom type for all that and other shenanigans, including complaining that the Traders UK has disappeared from YouTube. And thank you to the people that sent me all the links that I could watch, perhaps a bit under the radar in my spare time.
Awesome.
Rich, I just want to point out to you before you wrap us fully up. I think in the future you're gonna have to edit these to like Pepe Sylvia draw all of the like conspiracy connections between all the podcasts that are happening. So yeah, just like pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, see, I get here to the end and I was going to be like, I think that my friends have plugged everything I am currently working on with that.
Yeah.
So just follow me on Twitter. I'm at DM Philly. Hit me up if you want me running private games for your friends or family. I am delighted to do it. The VODs for all this stuff will go over to YouTube at DM Philly on YouTube. Go give me a follow over there if you follow me here and not there. I can use it. It would be great to hit 3 digits on that YouTube subscription number. I'm very excited. We're going to have some fun announcements coming up for the rest of the month. Cool stuff for January, 2 years of being here. I just want to thank everybody who hung out in the chat tonight. It's great to see a lot of familiar faces, new faces. I really appreciate your support. Melissa and I spent a great deal of time talking in the His Dark Materials wrap-up podcast about the fear of trying, the fear that comes with putting your creative endeavors out into the world, and how this precludes a lot of people from doing a lot of things that might have given them joy. So I just want to thank you to my friends for supporting me in this nonsense thing that we do, and to certainly all of you guys hanging out here in the chat live on Tuesday night, but anybody who will find this thing tomorrow, next week, months from now, years from now, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you. You're good people. I think with that, we should get the hell off the internet. It's time for me to
Get
leave.
off the internet.
I was trying to be polite. Bye.
Bye.
You can go now.
Bye.
Oh, Rich left.